First and foremost, all praises, all power, all glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Double honors to the apostles, elders of great wisdom, and teachers of the Lord, taught us this truth. Peace and salutation and blessings to the Akia, the fellow laborers pushing this truth and risking their lives for the fear of the earth. We are the brothers of GMSTORONTO and GMSMontreal.
That's right.
Here again, week in, week out, to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom, America the Great, spiritual Nineveh, spiritual Sodom, spiritual Assyria, right? And repentance and salvation to Israel, Israel being a people before it's a place. Once again, we're here week in, week out. You know, a lot going on. You miss a day, you miss a lot. You know, a lot of prophecy taking place. You know, we're seeing the brick by brick decimation of America the Great, Babylon the Great, the triple effect is imploding, right? And we're seeing the ripple effect, the waves going through the four corners of the earth, right? Up here in Canada, we got the hate speech act, the C9, right?
Yeah.
I didn't think really got any.
Yeah. This is Baruch. Let me start at. Okay, I'll start at 28. Okay, Baruch 4 and 28 in the GNT. It says, just as you were once determined to turn away from Yahweh, now turn back and serve Him with 10 times more determination.
Right. Serve Him with 10 times more determination. You Israelites, Israel being a people before it's a place. Right? Beginning with the elect on this side. The 2/3 of our people forget about it. Right? They're allocated for the sword. But if you are the elect, you're gonna at some point in your walk, you're gonna hear this truth. A live wire, a spark's gonna go off in your brain, and then you're gonna repent and serve the Lord. But it says here 10 times more. Meaning you gotta be diligent. You gotta be on fire for this thing. You can't half step. You can't have 1 foot in the world, 1 foot outside in the truth. Right?
That's right. It says, verse 29, the one who brought these calamities upon you will rescue you and bring you everlasting joy.
Right, the one who brought these calamities upon you, the Most High Yahweh, right? The orchestrator of this thing, the director of this movie called life, right?
Yeah. Take courage, Jerusalem. Yahweh, who gave you your name, will bring comfort to you.
Right, take courage, Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. Right, beginning with the elect. Right, so what does that mean? Be bold, because we know it says here, he will read that any part of it?
Yep, it says, take courage, Jerusalem. Yahweh, who gave you your name, will now bring comfort to you.
Right, now bring comfort to you. And how do we get this comfort? Via the scriptures, right? The scriptures are at fear.
That's right.
We're not running to no Edomite, Edomite therapist, right?
Yeah.
I need meds. You know, I'm having neck tears. I can't sleep.
Yeah.
Scriptures are at fear.
That's right. Yeah, that's right, man. Turn it up now. Okay, go. No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Yeah. So I'll read that again. So verse 30. Take courage, Jerusalem. Yahweh, who gave you your name, will now bring comfort to you. Misery will come to those who mistreated you.
Misery will come to those who mistreated you. Right? Beginning with Esau, Edom, right? Hey, listen, judgment is coming for you other nations, right? But Esau, Edom, there's a special punishment in store for you.
That's right.
Right.
That's right. It says, take courage. Oh no, I read that. Misery will come to those who mistreat you.
That mistreated you, man.
That's right.
Right. Some of the things that took place, some of the atrocities that took place,
Still take place.
still take place. You know.
Things that we don't know. The millions of children being used for all kind of debauchery, witchcraft, and sorcery, you know, purely because of two things. One, this devil's trying to gain a pseudo version of his birthright, which is not his birthright, it's really the birthright of Jacob, right? And as well as he wants to get rid of Israelites completely. You know, you Israelites are the main target of the self-proclaimed white man, biblical nationality being Esau, Edom. And then you got, you know, we were talking about Boule yesterday. You got our own people, all right, serving as gatekeepers, right, to lead you to the slaughter, right, for oppressors that you don't even see. Okay, so, you know, the heathens are going to get it. Esau at the top of that, but you 2/3, man. You 2/3. The way the Lord is going to whoop 2/3, it's going to be horrendous. Right? Amos 3:1. Out of all the families I've known, I've only known you, so I'm going to deal with you. Okay? It says, verse 31, oh, the front door. Somebody get the front door. Misery will come to those who mistreated you, right? Starting with our own people, and then rejoiced when and then rejoice when you fell. Right? Esau said, "Raise it, raise it." Okay, all the heathens rejoice, because really, right now, the Lord, as we always say, the Lord is only dealing with the elect of the nation of Israel. Okay. It says, verse 32, misery will come to those cities that made your children slaves. Misery will be the fate of Babylon, the city which swallowed up your children. Yep. You know, and it's everything I just said before, swallowed up, man. Okay? Without even chewing the damn thing. And that's just him wreaking havoc, all right, throughout the world, but starting with you Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and you speckled birds out there. Poisoning your mind, poisoning your body, every which way he can think of, okay? And then in the midst of it all, this devil's poisoning his own people. It says...
that just shows you how sick he is. Like poisoning his own people, what do they call it? Collateral damage?
Yes.
Right, he's Dennis the Menace, he's sick.
That's why he's going in the son of perdition.
Yep. It says, misery will come to those cities who made your children slaves. Misery will be the fate of Babylon, the city which swallowed up your children.
Don't get it twisted. We're still slaves, man. We're still prisoners of war. We're still POWs. Right? This is not living on this side, right? The centurion rolls up. He wants to see ID. Wants to know what you're doing. State your business. But we're not sovereign. We're not free. Yeah, you know, we're not free, man. You know, so we need Yahweh Shai, right? The Redeemer, right? To deliver us from this captivity. We can't do it ourselves. We can't bear arms. We can't mark as much as you see Jake want to jump on the bandwagon for you so-called quote-unquote black movements, right? Oh, we're gonna march for this. We can't do it ourselves. Right, go ahead.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the point. That's really Esau's missing. He likes trying to get a card on. That's what he's doing. You can't beat Esau in the spiritual, but our people don't understand the purpose of, having the Savior. That's what it's the purpose of being spiritual.
Yeah. You mean you can't beat Esau in the flesh?
Come on.
Yeah, it's gone. Yep. Our war is that of the spirit, you know. Verse 33, it says, just as the city rejoiced when you fell and took delight in your ruin, so she will mourn when she herself is deserted. right? That's Babylon the Great, aka America. Deserted of allies, deserted of glory, deserted of honor. All that's going to be completely snatched, all right, from Babylon the Great and you Edomites. Okay? It says, I will turn, verse 34, I will turn her proud boasting into mourning and take away her large population in which she took pride. Okay, we're witnessing that. All right, you Babylonians are crashing out. Okay, and while you're crashing out, you still have the gall to keep mocking the prophets. But you're the one being mocked by your own leaders, yes. Being mocked by your own elected leaders, so-called elected, we know they're selected. Okay? You're basically you're getting ready, all right, to be made into a cyborg. All right? Without understanding the repercussions, rather not understanding. Willfully rebelling. I'm talking about you Israelites in Babylon. Willfully rebelling, all right, towards the message. The message, like if somebody can hold 2 Thessalonians 2, okay, and 8. All right, 2 and 8. And then get that real quick in the NLT. You could jump down to just read down to 11 real quick.
So this is 2 Thessalonians 2 and 8.
Yeah, NLT. Baba Kasha.
Then the man of lawlessness will be revealed, but the Lord Yahushua will slay him with the breath of his mouth.
That's the prophets. So Yahushua is here in the spirit among his prophets, slaying, Esau, Edom, and the rest of the heathens and all their infrastructure through the vibration of this truth alone. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, this word breath, very, very important. Dummies. It means inspiration. Right? And there's nothing that you can do about that inspiration. Absolutely nothing. And you're seeing it being manifested. It's starting with the apostles. The apostles were bringing us on. I just want to say that, right? Over 40 years, right? Hey, longer than that actually. Okay? Because the scripture says, I'll just say this, right? We were born of the mind. Right? So yeah, inspired.
Go ahead.
2 Thessalonians 2 and 8 in the NLT. The man of lawlessness will be revealed, but the Lord Yahushua will slay him with the breath of his mouth and destroy him by the splendor of his coming.
So that's that second coming. So-called UFO invasion, the hosts of heaven, Yahushua coming to finish the work. All right, go ahead.
This man will come to do the work of Satan with a counterfeit power and signs of miracles.
So simply put, right, the adverse to what the Most High created. Most High put seed in fruits. This man is saying seedless. Most High said male and female. He says both and everything else, whatever else you want to be, right? So if the Spirit is dealing with you, there's a clan, a tribe of people, and the elites of these people that are fulfilling this prophecy right here, right now, and have been for decades, centuries, really. Okay? So the spirit of Satan, these are Satan's children on earth. Got it.
Verse 10, he will use every kind of evil deception to fool those on their way to destruction.
Right. Entertainment, food, right? Basically bread and circus in all its varieties. Right? Pseudoscience, education, you go to college, get a degree, think you're doing something, think you're adding to the economy, being somebody, but you're really just, what do they call it, goyim, right? You're a useless eater, okay? And all of it, really, you're being initiated into a satanic global cult when you go to college and do all these things and partake of this system without your awareness, okay? Go ahead.
The prophets call them useful idiots, capital.
Right, useful.
That's all they're good for. Simply
Yeah.
put, man.
Go ahead.
because they refuse to love and accept the truth that would save them, so the Most High will cause them to be greatly deceived,
See?
and they will believe these lies.
Right. And all these lies are going to lead to one thing, the mark of the beast. That's the ultimate goal of this devil, is to put a hackable device into you so he can play God. Okay? And then also, when you go a little further, he wants to create a whole new being, a whole new human. So the Lord, because you Israelites refuse to receive the truth, right? The Lord's going to cause you to believe these lies. Okay, you're not protected by, the Rakal Kadash via the faith and the fear of the Lord. Okay, so it's only a matter of time. Like, you're looking at everything that's happening around. World War III, we're in it. We're just waiting for the climax. The only thing that's keeping prophecy in a bottleneck, so to speak, is the MOTB. Okay, but that's what verse is that?
That was 11.
It's 11. Yeah, that's it on that. God.
It's a Psalm 1, and it says, "Deliver me." I'm sorry. Psalm
Oh, slack it. Let me just finish this last verse. Slack it. Back in Baruch 4 and 35 in the GNT, it says, I'll read 34. It says, "I will turn her boasting, her proud boasting, into mourning, and take away her large population in which she took pride. I, the eternal power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, will send fire on her, and it will burn for many days. Her ruins will be haunted by demons for a long time to come." Okay, look to the east, Jerusalem, and see the joy that Yahweh is bringing to you, which is Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is the joy not just of the nation of Israel, but of the whole earth. Right? The whole earth, through him coming, saving the elect being beamed up, crowned, coming back, through his whole walk, everything about him, the earth is going to be brought back to paradise. Even the heathens are going to love it after a certain amount of time. So, yeah, that's it on that. You got it, brother.
This is Psalms 140, verse 1. And it says, "A Psalm of David, deliver me, O Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man, which imagine mischiefs in his heart. Continually are they gathered together for war. They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. Adder's poison is under their lips." Selah. So this is the way of Saul fights. He puts forth a lot of righteous decrees to basically try to persecute, especially Israelites. But our people disregard the importance of the men of the Lord actually telling you to not trust your enemy, right? They don't understand. Like, I'll say it like this: Esau is very well studied, but our people, they're so disturbed for lack of knowledge. So what happens when you end up in a situation when it comes to Esau and confrontation, you lose because you don't know how to fight knowledge. So you don't know how to spiritually combat this one. So now a lot of our people got caught up in that judgment with the C19 thing, right? And now this guy is on trial because our people, through our process and up on down, they told me not to take that Fauci ouch as serious. But now a lot of people are after effects of that. This is how Esau fights. He's a very perverse, violent person. He's trying to kill you. He's trying to kill you. Right? But we're asking the Lord for deliverance because he's basically just contaminated by
Yeah. And you can feel it. It's getting worse. Like, you have to really, like Elder Yeshua talks about tapping in. But you really have to, because if you don't, you'll crash out. Even just, traffic, driving, and the spirits are getting roused up because they know their time is almost up. Like when Yahweh Shai came, they screamed out to Yahweh Shai, have you come before the time? So these spirits are getting roused up. These people have how many, serpent piss in them? We know what that is. They got all that in them, the frequencies. So if you don't tap into Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, you're going to crash out right along with the rest of these people.
Yeah, we have a lot of filth on us too in the world. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta make sure that we're cleaning off ourselves constantly to get, better and better to that perfect date. All right? Because, the filth is also on us now. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right. Man, got anything? Come on.
Psalms 17, verse 7, it reads, show thy marvelous loving kindness, and thou that savest by thy right hand, them which put their trust in thee, from those that rise up against them. Right, once again, going into we need our side for the deliverance. The right hand being our side.
Yeah.
Keep me as the apple of the eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wings. Right? Spiritual intervention, the chariots. Right? Once again, we can't do it ourselves.
That's right.
The elect are going to be delivered. It's going to be a supernatural feat. Right? Something that's never been seen before. Right? The strangeness of his salvation. Right?
And the only one he's coming to deliver are those that fear his name. It tells you that in, what's that? Malachi 4:2. It says, that's who he's coming with healing in his wings for, those that fear his name. Showing you that the IUIC don't got it. But what does it mean to fear his name? You know what I'm saying? That means you're going to change also your actions, your behavior, your mindset in order to be more pleasing unto him. Because you fear him. Right? Because if you don't fear him, you ain't going to change. You're not going to stay the same and remain comfortable in that sin. Right?
Good. Goes on, Psalm 17:9. From the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemies who compass me about. Right? Deadly enemies who compass me about. We're surrounded, man. Right? We're deep in enemy territory, behind enemy lines, surrounded. Right? We're bombarded with chemtrails. Right? This eugenics movement. Right? The food. Right? No frills, man. The ingredients is all GMO engineered food. We need the house.
Yeah.
Right? The scriptures say, they shall drink poison. They shall drink poison and live.
Yep.
Right? That's the spirit is around. The spirit is on the elect, keeping them up.
Yeah.
Right? Land back on what you said earlier about tapping into what Elder Yashawami was saying.
Right.
Right? Because we're being bombarded, man. If we're not tapping in, listening to videos. Right, that's very important.
Yeah.
While we're out there navigating the east side of the world, listening, have it on in your dash. If you can get away at the plantation, have it in your ear.
Yeah.
Gotta be listening. That's where we tap in. Because we'll get consumed out here, man. That's
right.
Demon is real.
Yeah.
You pull in front of the bus.
Yeah, you can feel it.
And something
Yeah.
now you're caught up in a calamity.
Yeah.
And you weren't tapped in. Right?
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's
I've
true.
never seen that movie like it. A guy's driving, and then there's a woman, and then the woman is kind of like trying to ignore this guy, but the guy was, he was having a bad day, but like that shows you like the reality. It basically kind of shows you the reality of like the mindset of a lot of people. It doesn't really take much for them to crash out, and then for them also, they're not trying. There's no mindset of trying to separate the spirit from the flesh. Because as things get, I find like more difficult, especially economics wise, it's very easy then for them to just like flip, right?
Come on.
This is Ezekiel 18 in the GMT, starting at verse 30. Now I, the sovereign Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, am telling you, Israelites, that I will judge each of you by what you have done. Turn away from all the evil you are doing, and don't let your sins destroy you.
That also ties into the elect, right? The elect, the Lord will judge you too. Okay? So you got to make sure that you're doing the things that are right unto Him, to make sure that you can be delivered from these things that are all these dangers. Because what you don't understand, what some people don't understand, is that we're being delivered every day. You don't consider that. That you could have been hit by a truck, you could have been this and that. All kind of situations could have happened in your family life every single day. Yahweh Shai is stepping in and making sure it doesn't go left. And then sometimes He'll let it go left, right, for certain reasons. Yeah. This is why fearing Him is so important. Okay? Very important, man. Right? Because it even speaks about in Sirach that if a man wisdom will bring you by crooked ways.
Yep.
But if you forsake her,
Yeah.
But if you forsake her now, it says something else will happen.
Yes.
Let's go into that. Real quick, Shapar, let me know when you got that.
This is Sirach 4 and verse 16.
Mhm.
If a man commit himself unto her, he shall inherit her,
Yeah.
and his generation shall hold her in possession. For at the first she will walk with him by crooked ways,
Right. It's gonna be difficult, right? The discipline, you know, and wisdom.
That's right.
It's not easy at first. Go ahead.
and bring fear and dread upon him, and torment him with her discipline, until she may trust his soul,
Right.
and try him by her laws.
Go keep on going.
Verse 18, then she will return the straight way unto him and comfort him. Verse 18, it says, then she will return the straight way unto him and comfort him and show him her secrets.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Keep going. Keep going.
Yep. It says, verse 19, but if he go wrong, she will forsake him.
But if he go wrong, she will forsake him. Right. Go ahead.
And give him over to his own ruin.
Right. So a lot of things brothers gets into and problems and things like that is their own doing. It's our own doing. Right? Including myself. You know, you look back, you get mad, this and that, and you look back, it's like really, I should have did this. You understand what I'm saying? I should have learned from this. So that's how it works. You see, so you gotta be aware of how we're operating out here, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that we're walking in that right path. You know?
Yep.
Constantly.
That's something else.
Oh, that's something else.
James 1 and 13, let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High.
That's right.
For the Most High cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempteth he any man.
Right, but you know, he has Satan that does that job.
Exactly.
Right? But Satan is set up to, he's an adversary. That's what he's set up to do. Go ahead.
Verse 14, but every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust.
See, but it comes down to the impurities in you
Right.
that leads to that. You understand what I'm saying? And this is why we have to check the impurities in us. So that what Satan has less to work with.
Exactly.
See, the more that you purge out these things, the less Satan has to work with, man.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes. I got something for you real quick. You mentioned sometimes the Lord will pull back, something to that effect, right? And that's so true because he did that with Hezekiah, and it tells you he did that to see what was in his heart. So this is 2 Chronicles 32, okay, and 31. Yeah, 32 and 31. It says here, howbeit in the business of the ambassadors of the prince of Babylon, who sent unto him to inquire of the wonder that was done in the land. So the princes of Babylon came because Hezekiah the Lord was doing a lot with him. Bridge, right? The Assyrian army that came to invade beforehand, 180,000 wiped out. He was added 15 years to his life, so there was a lot of wonders happening in Israel. So these guys came to wonder about that, inquire about it. So it says, Yahweh left him to try him, that he might know all that was in his heart. Right? So basically, instead of, and we know what happened. He's like, look at all my riches, this is what I got, this is everything. So the benefits of the Lord, right, made him a little bit prideful. The Lord stepped back to see what was in his heart, right? And it was revealed. You're getting a little bit ahead of yourself. Isaiah came and said, what do they all see? Is that because you've done this, Babylon's going to be invaded, even though we know it's all spiritual in terms of prophecy. But the Lord can do that. That's the point. If you're not sincerely working on the fruit of the spirits, if we're not doing that, then you don't know when the Lord will just pull back just to see what's going on. trials are not always about something coming in. Sometimes trials are about what's already there that you might not already see. You know, so
Yeah, more than that, because going into the tapping in, right? That's big. If you're not tapping in, you're gonna fall out. The Lord, like you said, pull back. Yeah, that's it. And that's a precept I have here, going into the tapping in. You saw the instructions that came out of this one word. Hey, there's also rapping. Look it up. Rapping and tapping. It says a man, and this is Sirach 23 and 18. Actually, it's a whole chapter. So one of the precepts here regards to it. It says, a man that breaketh wedlock, saying thus in his heart, who seeth me? See? I am compassed about with darkness. The walls cover me, and nobody seeth me. Right? Question was, this statement in the question was, a man that breaketh wedlock. Stop tapping in. Right? No. Anyway. It says, a man that breaketh wedlock, saying thus in his heart, who seeth me? I am compassed about with darkness. The walls cover me, and nobody seeth me. What need I to fear? The Most High will not remember these sins. Right? Will not remember. So there's a condition, right? Stop tapping in. Hey, he's gonna remember whether or not you tap in or tap out.
There's a difference between a brother, right? You might get a brother that he gets stopped by the police, right? It could be two things. It could be that. It could be a thing where the Lord is testing to see what I want, see where you're at. Or it could be a thing where the Most High is, he ain't listening.
yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So it depends where it ends up now. Right? So then your brother might be stopped and he might be cool, you know? He might be a little drunk too. Might be, he said, I'm not letting go. Because the Most High put in his spirit to let him go.
Yeah.
But then another brother, he said, nah, you know, no, he might get on it. But it could be for two reasons now. It could be either because the Lord wants to see what he's going to do. And if he starts tapping in, the Lord will deliver him out of that eventually. And he'll also learn from that. But then the brother could be fall into a damn deep hole and he just says, I feel it goes back into the world or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? So there's two ways. So you gotta make sure, that's why you gotta make sure that it's more so you rather to be tested than the Lord is displeased with you. Because then it'll lead to something severe. See?
God.
This is 2 Corinthians 13 and verse 5. It reads, examine yourself, just lying back to what he's saying. It says, examine yourself, whether he be in the faith, prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves.
Yes.
Know that Yahushua HaMashiach is in you, except he be reprobates. Right? So you have to always constantly checking yourself. Right? And if you don't check yourself, you're going to wreck yourself. Right? You got to make sure that you're doing your videos. You got to make sure you're showing up to camp. You know, you got to make sure you're on point, because if you're not on point, what's going to happen? You're going to be a reprobate. You're going to be a bug out. Right? You're going to stray further and further away from the church.
Brotherly love, let's not forget that one. Charity, brotherly love, very important. Just want to add that in there.
Yeah. So you have to always make sure that you stay within this thing.
Yeah.
Right? When you wake up in the morning, we talked about it yesterday. When you wake up in the morning, the first thing on your mind is, okay, what video should I do today? You know what I'm saying? Or what video am I going to get popping? What am I going to do? Watch some videos. This is you staying in the spirit. Because if you stray away from the spirit is the foundation. The spirit is the root of all of this, right? And if you keep straying further and further away from the spirit, eventually the spirit will leave you.
Yep.
Right? So you have to constantly make sure that you're paying attention to that path that you're walking. Because if the path gets too easy, man, you gotta make sure that you're on the right path. Right?
Yeah, because that word reprobate in etymology, it basically goes into rejected as worthless. So it says, examine yourself whether you be in the faith, lest you be reprobate. So, you like you said, you don't want it to get to a point where the Most High is displeased with you, and then you're a reprobate.
Well, really, it means voided judgment.
Or in the blue letter.
Really, yeah.
Okay, I have to look that up because I don't see when I look it up.
Kind of go off.
I don't see when I look it up. Yeah, but that's void of judgment.
It also means not passing the test, is it not? Well,
Yeah,
look
in
it
the
up.
blue letter.
Look it
Yeah,
up.
bring it up.
Look it up.
But gone.
Yep.
But Yeah, that's basically the point. You don't want to be found as a reprobate, worthless. Right?
Yeah, because it speaks about reprobate silver. Different.
Yeah, context. Yeah.
When you use it in the etymology, right?
Yep.
When you use it in the etymology as worthless, it's you having no wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High. Because people think that they're not worthless because they have an education of this world. They're lawyers, they're doctors, they're all of this, but they're worthless, right? Because if they don't have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High, they're worthless.
And if you have it and you're not using it, it's the same thing too. It could be the same thing too.
Yeah, worthless as a tool that cannot be used. Right?
Exactly.
Sirach, I got a quick one.
Yeah.
Sirach 5 and 7. Make no tarrying to turn to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and put not off from day to day. For suddenly shall the wrath of Yahweh Shem Yahushai come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. Which is pretty much to the point. That's land backing off of everything that the brothers have been saying. You can't put that off because in the twinkling of an eye, boy, it could be your time.
That's right.
It's your time.
Con.
This is James 1 and 19 in the AMP.
Slack. Did somebody look up the word reprobate in the blue letter? Go ahead. Slack.
It says, understand this, my beloved brothers and sisters, let everyone be quick to hear, be a careful, thoughtful listener, slow to speak, a speaker of carefully chosen words, and slow to anger, patient, reflective, forgiving. For the resentment.
Because everything that you say starts with your thoughts. That's why it speaks about how to say every idle word. You know, something idle is something that doesn't take work. You gotta work to control your mind to say, nah, this is no good, this is good.
You got people that just say whatever the
They can say whatever comes to their mind. That's idle talk. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why you gotta filter everything out. Make sure you're thinking the right things, and then the right things are gonna come out.
Yeah.
The treasures of the heart. You know, the good things that if you're good, if you got good things in your mind, it's gonna come out. If you got evil things, eventually the evil things will come out.
It's what Esau calls being cognitive, the ability to reason and understand what's going on before you actually act upon it. Right? Being cognitive.
But you see, some people, they don't sit with their thoughts and then really reflect on who the hell they are. You understand what I'm saying? They don't want to do that. That's how the people in the world are. They don't reflect. Like, what am I? Like, what am I thinking? Why am I thinking like this? Why?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So you got to do that. You got to really sit down with yourself.
Yeah.
You know, there's even this one person. I remember I was looking at a video. I don't know if you've seen it, but this woman said that women don't even filter out their thoughts. They don't even take 20 minutes to sit down in the whole life. She said most women don't even think about filtering their thoughts, or it's just a bunch of garbage in it.
Intrusive thoughts. Intrusive thoughts.
Yeah.
Verse 20, for the resentful, deep-seated anger of man does not produce the righteousness of the Most High. That standard of behavior which he has required.
Well, something that's deep-seated, that's something that built up. You know, something that was seated in you, and then eventually it grows because you're not dealing with it.
Yeah.
You see why it grows? Because you're not dealing. That's like a grudge. You know, you hold a grudge, and then you're not thinking, you're talk to the brother, and there's holes and builds into something crazy, and then you're giving them, you're giving them the eyes for the, whatever, that comes into wickedness. Yeah, you're hitting you all hard. You know what I'm saying?
Not you. I know you're not. I know you're not.
He's joking. What I'm talking about, but I'm just saying, in general, it starts with
The difference between zealous and
Yeah. You're more zealous.
But some Benjaminites are really rough.
and then it's like because it says anger, right? Remember, if you're even short-term anger, it slows your aging process. Or sorry, not slow, quickly. It's a biological process. Cortisol is up, blood pressure is up, sugar is up. Obviously, you're gonna be angry. If you don't check it, and then long-term anger, you got some real issues, bro.
Yeah.
You might pass out one day, panic attack. Humans all running crazy, right? Verse 20, for the resentful represent. That's a bad trait.
Yeah, women are resentful.
Yeah.
Black women is very resentful. Go ahead.
Deep-seated anger of a man does not produce the righteousness of the Most High, that standard of behavior which He requires from us. So get rid of all uncleanness and all that remains of wickedness, and with a humble spirit receive the word of the Most High, which is implanted, actually rooted in your heart, which is able to save your souls.
That takes that's easier said than done. To really deep and to constantly do that, constantly dig into your spirit, to say, let me take this out, let me take this out, let me replenish this, let me replenish that. That's more than just speaking. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's a good speaker. It's deeper than that. That's like, yo, that's the brother may not even know how to speak right, but it's just that makes you close to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai.
Finishing up, verse 22. But prove yourselves doers of the word, actively and continually obeying the Most High's precepts, and not merely listeners who hear the word but fail to internalize its meaning. That's the point I wanted to get. No, I wanted to get that point that you guys are hitting on, the hammer on the nail, about internalizing, actually being a part of it. Yes. Not just an accessory.
Because you see that with these other camps, it's like a show. You understand what I'm saying? Theater, IUIC, good example, they read, it's all, and when they speak, oh, brother, and this, read, and thus saith the Lord. But they're not really understanding the grasp of the scriptures. And you can tell by their actions, the things that they've done, things that brothers know they did, calling brothers businesses, and all kind of wickedness that they do, and they've done. Right? So you know that they're not really internalizing the scriptures. Right? But they're able to put on that charade like they're these top Israelites. You know how being the top Israelite, it's about understanding what you're in a part of. And everything else is going to fall in place. Because all of us have a place, all of the elect have a place in this walk. You understand what I'm saying? The scriptures even say give the lesser members even more honor. You don't understand how important another brother may be, that he may not be out in the forefront. He may not even be on a speaker on the camera, period. But his work behind the camera is so important to the ministry. You see what I'm saying? And this is why Yahweh Shai deals with him in the way he deals with him. You know? It's a matter of gifts.
Hold on. Finish it up, right? It says, and not merely listeners who hear the word and fail to internalize its meaning, deluding yourselves by unsound reasoning contrary to the truth. And then I typed in real quick. What does it mean to internalize something? To internalize something means to absorb an idea, belief, value, or feeling so deeply that it becomes a natural part of your inner mind, character, or automatic way of thinking.
Poisons you. After a while, man. It's like words, like, you ever seen that, there's one woman, she talks, she plays certain music for rice. She'll play, whatever, heavy metal, the rice will turn moldy. She'll play Michael Jackson and the rice won't turn moldy. It'll stay white or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? So all the words and the things you internalize, all that, it affects you.
There was actually a Japanese doctor too that all he did was say, I love you to one and I hate you to another. The same thing.
Vibration, that's it. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I just wanted to get Wisdom of Solomon 5 in verse 1. It says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such that have afflicted him and made no account of his labor. So these degenerate, these people on the outside, what they're doing is they're watching these camps who are dressed in organized outfit, right? Speaking how you say they were speaking, right? Making it look like they know the truth when they really don't know the truth. You get what I'm saying? So these people are going to look at the righteous man, which is the Bomalites, who they call us, right? They're going to look at us and be like, yo, these guys really had the truth for a long time. But we weren't paying them no mind because why? The way they were dressed, they don't look like people. They don't look like people who had the truth. They look like people who just pop up out of nowhere just trying to be an Israelite, right? But they look at, I'm going to say IUIC, and they look at how they dress and they're like, yo, these guys have the truth. They're organized. They sit at a table. They got mic. They got sound effects. They got their garments look in sync. But these guys have the truth, when in actuality it's the opposite, right? The truth comes from who? The Yahushua came on a donkey, man, right? He's not come upon the ass like how you was thinking on the horse. You know what I'm saying? So when you read Psalms, Wisdom of Solomon 5:1, that's what it's speaking about. It's speaking about the righteous. And who's the righteous? The righteous are the ones who speak in the truth. Right? Day in and day out, the truth is coming from who? GMS, man. Who's speaking about MOTB? GMS. Who's calling on the name Yahweh by Yahweh Shai? GMS, right? So the righteous is who? GMS.
Right? Well, even amongst GMS too, you got people that ain't right. You know, so you got. It's not necessarily about GMS itself. It's about who's following the right way of starting with the apostles and elders and great those stuff. Right? So that's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? Although I see what you're saying though, because GMS, you know, that's where the apostles and elders are from. But you know, like I said, there's some people, and the apostles always said that. The niggas amongst GMS ain't right. You understand what I'm saying? Even I see the video the other day, the Apostle McCall was saying that. So that's true. Because you got, when you bring it in, you're bringing in the good as well as the bad. Right? Eventually the bad won't go up. The bad can't stay amongst the good. You see what I'm saying? So eventually it's going to weed itself out. You dig? But y'all point, my point. Go ahead, bro.
Just gonna finish here. It says, this is verse 2. It says, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangers of his salvation, so far beyond that they look for. And they repented and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision and a proverb and a reproach. And this goes for Esau, Edom, as well as Jake, right? Because when you look at the comment board right now, you got a lot of bug outs, a lot of Jakes who's coming against the men of the Lord, right? Who's coming up. You got Menatazakba from South Carolina. He keeps going in he's the spiritual on it right now to go on these reprobates, these bug out Israelites who keeps coming with these reprobate doctrine, man. You know, and this is what we're seeing. So these people now are going to look and they're going to be like, wow, like we had these people. We're talking about these people. These people are actually speaking the truth. These Israelites were actually talking about, you know, the truth. They're calling the name of Yahweh or Yahweh Shai, right? They're teaching the MOTB. So pretty much these people are going to be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? These guys had the truth long time, and we're sorry. You know, we want to come in. How can we come in? But yo, it's going to be too late for them, right? When they really realize to them, you know, they've been talking nonsense, they're going to be like, yo, I'm sorry. I want to come in, but can't come in that time.
The door is closed, it's closed.
Yeah.
That was it?
I just want to emphasize real quick, the word there is fear. And the Lord puts some fear in you people, man. Right? Hey, starting with you, Esau, and 2/3 of our people, and that's what they're going into. Right? Hey, but it's going to be too late. And you can also read Psalm 55. You'll see it. Okay? Don't put fear in you. Right now, tap you out. Okay? Because of your disobedience and your unbelief, your incredulity. But yet, the time is coming when he's going to put fear in you. You're going to see, oh yes, those are the prophets of Yahweh Shimon Shah. You're going to see it. And you're going to call upon the name too. Right?
Give that power that people shall be with.
That's right.
Someone get the front word?
Back it over.
I have the word reprobate and then
Yeah, bring it over quick.
Yeah, right. This is it says ma'at, and it says to reject, despise, refuse, to reject, refuse, to despise, to be rejected, to flow, run. So that's what it says.
You said it's ma'at?
Ma'as.
Ma'as, okay. I thought you said ma'at.
This is Matthew 13 and 47 in the AMP. I just got back in for the part we were seeing before. Gather and all kinds of shit. Back. Right? So it says, again, the kingdom of heaven, this is Yahweh speaking, the kingdom of heaven is like a dragnet which was lowered into the sea and gathered fish of every kind. And when it was full, they dragged it up on the beach, and they sat down and sorted out the good fish into baskets, but the worthless ones they threw away. So it will be at the end of the age, the angels will come and separate the wicked from the righteous.
Even a separation is happening now in the spirit. You know, you got the righteous that are gathered, and the wicked is amongst them. You know, kind of like, Satan was gathered amongst the sons of God, right? But, you know, they're amongst, right? Even Judas was amongst Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai allowed it up until the time when he had to be revealed. There's a scripture where it speaks about, you know, some wickedness is so shown presently, But then some wickedness is shown later. And then
Florida, bro. Yeah, Timothy, 1 Timothy.
Yeah, if you can get, someone can get that from the shop, the probably know what it is. Right? So, you know, so some things are not revealed right away. Sometimes you gotta let the fire reveal certain things. The fire gonna reveal impurities. And then it's order. This is not even real gold. You see what I'm saying? If enough pressure comes on, enough things that that individual don't like comes out, then his true self may come out, right? You understand? Oh shit, what's going on here, brother? I thought you were righteous. You see? But the fire, he said, someone said something you didn't like, or got rebuked, or you don't like that no more. You know, it's not cool anymore. Well, that's that fire revealing. You see? Go ahead, bro.
That's good.
Who got the Timothy one? You got a Timothy one?
I know 1 Corinthians.
Oh, the one that I'm talking about? Okay,
I got the Timothy.
go
I got
ahead.
the Timothy.
Oh, so it's in both places.
It's in both places. Okay, read it. Read the Corinthians. Let's see.
Yeah, so it's 1 Corinthians 3, verse 13. It reads, every man's work shall be made manifest.
Woo!
Which verse? Which verse?
Verse 13.
Okay, yeah.
So it says that every man's work shall be made manifest, for the day shall declare it, because it shall be revealed by fire.
Hey, Judas was revealed. You understand what I'm saying?
right.
Just like anyone else that is not right, eventually they're going to be revealed. You know? Sometimes you can't even rush that process. You know, sometimes you gotta, you know, things happen, it speeds it up. Go ahead.
Because it says, and the fire shall try every man's work of what sort it is. If any man's work,
Hey, some people have been in the truth and really ain't got too much. You understand what I'm saying? Some people have gone through, been in the truth and haven't gone too much. They think they gone too much. But there's certain brothers that's been through some crazy ailments or whatever, man. Some crazy situations, stories, you know, near death. Right? But you know, your money was tight every now and then. You see? But when this heat turns up now, are you going to be able to stay in that same mindset of serving Yahweh and retaining your integrity? Right? Because when the heat was turned up, Eliezer retained his integrity. Eliezer said, man, I ain't gonna get that. Okay, whatever, you're going to kill me. He retained his integrity. 5 or 7 brothers, they retained their integrity. You know, so we have to retain our integrity, the ones that are the elect. Even the mother retained her integrity. You know, she came back for sure. For sure.
Yeah, if I can say something real quick too, because I can say some point, and then retain your integrity with the Lord, right? That's ultimately who you're doing it with, because that's who's gonna keep you. That's who's gonna keep you in Jacob's trouble. Is really Yahweh Shemel Shai. So everything you're doing, you know, it has to be in the mindset of your relationship with the Lord. You know, be in the Holy Spirit and you have a shot. Right? Because we know that ourselves, as we are, can't stand that fire. Yahweh Shemel needs to put his presence on us for us to navigate and get through. So this grace period is what was talked about, is developing that relationship so that he's pleased with you when the doors are shut. You know? Go ahead. You have more? Oh, who is reading?
Oh,
you are.
You're done with that one?
There's more.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, verse
You have
14 says,
Timothy, right?
if any man's work abide which he hath built thereupon, he shall receive a reward.
Right.
So go to
I read it in the NLT.
yeah, go ahead.
1 Timothy 5 and 24. Remember, the sins of some people are obvious.
Yeah, you can just see it. Sometimes a nigga is just okay. You know, but then sometimes somebody sees it and then other people don't see it. That's another aspect. Go ahead.
It says, remember, the sins of some people are obvious, leading them to certain judgment.
Yeah.
But there are others whose sins will not be revealed until later.
That's it. Some it has to be weight to a certain level of fire hits them for that wickedness to come out. You see? Go ahead. So that's why you got to make sure that, you know, well, if if you have the elect, eventually you're gonna make sure all the impurities gonna be wiped out of you that need to be wiped out. There's a level that Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai wants each of his men at. You understand what I'm saying? Well, it's kind of like the video games. If you're playing with a character, you know, certain characters, say a QB, a quarterback, he has his certain stats, his highest stats, which his pass might be 97. You understand what I'm saying? That's the top. Can't go any further. But then you got another person that's a running back where his power and his run is 97. You understand what I'm saying? So that's how it is with brothers. We each got our own stats, but the Lord wants you on a certain level.
Yes.
So you can't, you know, look at changing as a bad thing. Change is what's needed moving forward. It's needed. And it's going to be uncomfortable because change is uncomfortable.
Has to be done.
Okay?
If I can add on to that, those games that you said, there's a RPG, we call it RPG role player games. And with those games, you level up, you have different attributes, put certain skill sets, and you could add a certain skill sets to attributes to get to the next level. So we constantly always got to be chasing the next level and leveling up in the spirit.
Yes.
You know, when you apply it to this truth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. It's the system that never changes, right? How about Shemi Ashai? They don't change. It's us that needs that necessary change, right?
Okay, go ahead.
Proverbs 4, verse 18, it says, but the path of the just is as the shining light
That's right.
that shineth more and more onto the perfect day.
That's it. That's it. Hey, even in certain games, you can't touch certain bosses unless you get certain sword or certain. So you gotta, you know, when you want to get to another level, I want to go here, I want to get here, I want to get this, I want to get that, in the spirit or whatever. But you gotta get certain things before you get certain things.
Is that
You know what I'm
right?
saying? That's it. Okay, we'll go ahead, brother. Let's do that with that.
Okay. Say this real quick, but to add on what you're saying, there's certain, you have to go through certain hardships in your walk with Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai before you think you get to the next level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The Lord's not just, you might think in your mind, okay, I can get here, but you haven't been put through that position.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You have to battle first, and then the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, he'll give it to you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how you get to the next level.
Yeah. Require was holding one though, real quick. And then you got it, sharp.
This is Hebrews 12 and 11. And it says, chastity for the present seemeth joyous, but grievous, nevertheless afterward yieldeth the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them who exercise the life.
Right, and that's the word exercise. I was thinking about what you were saying. And in those games, it's all about experience points.
Right.
You need experience points to get to those levels. So, like the brother was reading, you know, the scriptures say, despise not the chastening of the Lord, because it's bitter. You can't let the bitterness override your mind and your faith, and you have to apply certain fruits of the Spirit, depending on the scenario, whatever it may be, right? So it can grow, because they're fruits, right? So they need that tending to, that nurturing, the exercising of it, the husbandry, for it to grow, you know? You got
Let's
it.
have a Greek word for fruits. It says cargos. It says work, act, deed, advantage, profit, utility. Praises which presented to the Most High as a thank offering. So
Right.
those words, those deeds, that was I said, trees look like fruits.
Yep.
It puts us in situations to, you know,
See what fruit.
yeah, to exemplify or, you know, work on certain characteristics to level up to those attributes.
That's right.
So you offer basically a more sweet smelling sacrifice rather than when you look at the behavior of our people. It's like a stench of Heavenly Father's nose. You know, for
That's
example,
right.
like what they were doing last week in on the Dixon Caravan. That's the Lord's not, you know, that's that's a stench.
Hey, okay. So no? That's right, when you got it. That was it?
Yeah, that was it.
Come on.
First Corinthians 4, verse 5 in NLT, it reads, so don't make judgments about anyone ahead of time before the Lord Yahweh returns. For he will bring our darkest secrets to light. He will reveal our private motives.
Sure.
Then Yahweh will give to each one whatever praise is due.
Yep.
According to
Realize this is the
Oh, Hebrews. Yeah, Alexander. Yeah, but
Healed. After sport, right? Smart. Behind, that was my life with the father.
that's right.
Haka, Deacon, all those guys. You know? The woman goes in.
There's the Navy was very true, and you lost sport in our lives. The only father eventually will do it because we have rights.
Right.
Yep.
Con.
Yeah, the spirit searches all things. You know, the spirit will reveal. This man was coasting for like 12, 13 years. And the spirit revealed to him.
Mm-hmm.
He's a pop-up shop. Pop-up shop. Every minute
Yeah,
pops up
yeah,
something different.
Yeah.
Those are happening. Now he's popping up.
Yeah, you got it.
Just to back up what I was saying before about, men may change, but the system doesn't change, right? That's attributed to you, your analogy on video games. Malachi 3:6, for I am the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, I change not, therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Men might change for better or for worse, but that foundation remains the same, and so that's what you rely on. And it makes it easy to make that transition because you have a foundation, you already have a ground, you have somewhere to look, just like the scriptures.
Yeah.
That's how we know the mind of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? We're not just over here just winging it. We know what is requested of us, what is desired of us, what is required of us, all right? And so we stay with that, right? That makes the changes.
So up here, you see, like we just spoke about this with other people, right? So the foundation is always the same, right? And Ribbon's given us $8. Apostle Tar took it over. He's building on the foundation. He was on the foundation, but he strayed away from the foundation, and now he's building on sand, right? He's building on wood, right? And that never stand because quick time, that shit broke down. Where are they now? It's nowhere to be found, but there was no foundation. There was no foundation where he was. He left the foundation and went to try to do something by himself. But no one because of greed. You get what I'm saying? And now he's not. Now he's no more. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, those guys they're not spiritual. The scriptures, every time I think about that guy, I think about a child left to himself and become willful. They're not spiritual. They looked at men older than them and thought, because they're younger, they're wittier, whatever was going on in their mind, that, you know what, he even said, Apostle Hart, go and retire. So these are, that's another thing, not being spiritual. You have, like, you mentioned a point that, about the precept, those that are less honored are the ones that are to be tended to. You have to be spiritual to understand that, because no one's really looking at the less honored one, but that's
We bestow more honor.
bestow more honor. God. Right?
That's common.
That's right.
That's why he's Alizé and not fine wine, right?
Yeah. God.
He doesn't understand that experience and age comes together.
Well, he just wanted the spotlight. See, him and Captain Cesario is kind of similar. They just like the spotlight. They like that, they like the fame. They like what comes with it. You know what I'm saying?
They think it's a business. It's like a Levitical business. They're going after a law.
Yeah.
50 years old or 60.
Right.
Yeah, they've been going off.
Right.
Well, we're prophets. We're not, we're going to be a kingdom of priests, but we're really prophets.
Right.
We're not kings. We're not kings in the building. We're not, generals, sergeants. We're prophets.
That's right.
Prophet doesn't retire.
That's right. I got this here.
He's waiting for his reward. It's in 2nd Ezra, the 2nd chapter. If you are paying attention over there at ICTK. Go ahead, brother.
You got it.
Zephaniah 1:12. A and B. It will come about at that time that I will search Jerusalem with lamps, and I will punish the men who, like old wine, are stagnant in spirit, who say in their hearts, the Lord Yahweh will not do
Stagnant in spirit. That's an important thing. You can't be stagnant in the spirit. You gotta be growing in the spirit. You gotta be moving in the spirit, man. Be growth. The Lord wants to see growth. That's why when he came to that fig tree and it didn't have any fruits, he cursed it, man. All right? And what's the most important fruits? The fruits are the fruits that's in you. Not the fruits you get, how much brothers coming through you. It's really the fruits is the ones that's in you. So to say that a man may lose all his works, may be burnt up, dealing with the actual fruits of men, but he himself may be delivered through his works. So it starts with you. You know what I'm saying? So When it speaks about, being stagnant in the spirit, you gotta make sure that you're constantly growing in the spirit, man. Go ahead.
Fine, again, it says, and I will punish the men who, like old wine, are stagnant in spirit, who say in their hearts, the Lord Yahweh will not do good, nor will
You're not doing lessons, you're not being tapped in. That's also an aspect of being stagnant, right? But you know you're not growing because you're not even in the spirit. How you gonna grow if you're not in the spirit? Okay? Go ahead.
So the Lord Yahweh will not do good, nor will he do evil.
That's it.
And you don't want to be in that state of limbo. That's limbo right here. The Lord said he would rather you cold or hot, not lukewarm. That's lukewarm right there. And that being in that mindset, the Lord is not going to do good or evil. That's a scary mindset to be in. You know what I mean? Purgatory, so to speak. Catholicism, even though we don't subscribe to that.
Right.
But they have that, you don't want to be in a state of purgatory, so to speak.
Yeah.
Which goes back to a lack of fear. Because if you think he ain't gonna do good or evil, that means he ain't nothing to fear.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. You got it, man? I'll send it after you.
Just what you mentioned just now. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 12 and verse 23 in the NLT. It reads, and the parts we regard as less honorable are those we clothe with with greatest care. So we carefully protect those parts that should not be seen.
Sure. Yeah, because going back to what I said before about every brother's gifts. Every brother has an important gift in this ministry to Yahweh Shai. And some people don't know, their gifts at the beginning. But you gotta learn your gifts. Brothers around elders, show the brothers the gifts. You know what I'm saying? Your gift is, but then you gotta develop on that. If someone shows you a gift, you're gonna do nothing with it. Okay, you're gonna start losing your gift. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta build upon those things, man.
Sure.
Go ahead, bro.
This is Matthew 13 and 5.
The point is also every brother is important.
Exactly.
Just because you're not the head of the camp or whatever, that don't mean you're insignificant. Every one of the 144,000 is from a government body of Israel, of the nation of Israel.
That's right.
These are important men. That's why the Lord looks at us as what? As precious stones.
Right.
Okay? But order amongst the body is going to still be in the kingdom. When you think of the kingdom, everyone's going to be doing what the hell they want to do. Pop up, I'm going to be the head of this council. No, you got to, everyone fall in line to do with their gifts, and guess what? They're going to flourish in their gift. As it is in heaven is pure order, and they're not fighting over rank.
That's right.
Michael ain't, Raphael ain't cursing out Michael and looking at Michael and thinking he's all that. No, you're real talking shit. No, they all know their position, right? And it says that they're pleased to do the will of Yahweh.
That's right.
See, that's the thing of great understanding, acceptance.
That's right. That's right.
Go ahead, bro.
You got something
So real quick,
Yeah.
when he was reading, but I'm grabbing it in the NLT. This is 1 Corinthians 12, verse 23. And the parts we regard as less honorable are those we clothe with the greatest care. So we carefully protect those parts that should not be seen. While the more honorable parts do not require this special care. So the Most
See,
High.
but that's that carnal mind. That's part of that carnality. It's like I know a guy, he thinks about being in the camera all the time. It's not about that necessarily.
Yeah.
It's about your gift. Okay? It's about your gift and building yourself, your relationship with Yahweh Hashem. People say that, but is that what it's really about to you? You know what I'm saying? Because you can't force, the scriptures also say, seek not preeminence. So you can't force yourself to be nowhere. The Lord will put you where He wants you to be. Period.
A good example is Job.
Yep, that's right. That's right. You want to speak on it?
Well, you're going to be put into straits, hard times. So it's not like, you don't give me this. Well, I didn't ask for this. You can't do that. You gotta ask for the Spirit how to gear it. Because Yahweh Shai, he
he asked the Lord 3 times, oh, is there any other way? Right? But he didn't get no answer, so he just had to endure.
And
Took
he,
it like a man.
yeah. And he knew he had to go through.
Yeah.
Right? Because even when they were asking, get that. With the sons of Zebedee, they pulled up.
Yeah, 7 sons.
Yeah, they want to get position in this rank, this and that. Y'all should look at them like some. You gotta look at what the hell they're talking about, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you can tell with these other camps, that's the vibe. The vibe is rank, yo, I got rank. And some of these guys, when they fall out, they say, yo, I got rank, and I was a top general, and I got my US. Where's he at now? Where they at now? Now he's a Christian. There's a shit about your rank he's at, man. Okay, yeah, he just wanted to bring up this story. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Finish yours?
What?
No, you can start something. Go ahead.
Matthew 20 and verse 20, it says, Then came to him the mother of Zebedee's children with her sons, worshiping him and desiring a certain thing of him.
Yeah, what did he say?
And he said unto her, What wilt thou? She saith unto him, Grant that these my 2 sons may sit, the one on thy right hand and the other on thy left, in thy kingdom. But Yahushua answered and said, Ye know not what ye ask.
So they want to be the second and the third in command under Yahushua. You see what I'm saying? But you know, another thing that shows you too is that just because a brother came in with that type of mindset doesn't mean his mind can't change.
Exactly.
Right? For him to get the right mindset, to get the right structure, because these are of the 12. The sons of Zebedee, they're of the 12, man. Okay? Go ahead.
It says, Ye know not what ye ask. Are ye
James and
able,
John. Go
are
ahead.
ye able to drink of the cup that I shall drink of? And to be baptized with
Now,
the
you're not knowing about the cup. You know about the cup? You know about the cup that has to be drunk? You know about the suffering that has to be gone through? You understand that part? Oh, I didn't know about that. Right, same cup, symbolically, but well, symbolically, yeah, truth, yeah, all that. But the thing is, you gotta lose your woman. You know that? Your child, two of your children are gonna die. You see where you stand? You know that? You didn't know that part. You see what I'm saying? So the cup is, it seems good to just sit there. That part of the cup is just sit there. The seat. But what comes with the seat? You see? Go ahead, bro.
It says, and to be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. They say unto him, We are able. And he said unto them, Ye shall drink indeed of my cup, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with.
Right, and they caught hell.
And they did
Right,
that.
those men caught hell, and eventually they were put to death.
Yep.
You see? According to some of the records of Josephus, you know, they were the disciples were hung. Peter was hung upside down, according to Joseph. Okay. That's an excruciating way to go.
Yeah.
Excruciating pain.
Break your legs. Break your legs. Pierce your side, wrist. Pulse points. There's not a lot of blood flow. Your shoulders break. Off the
You're
wall.
holding your weight.
Got a little tension. How am I getting older?
And then even John, even though he didn't die, when you look up how it is being on a real salt mine, that's death. Okay, the salt mine is a very, some people go blind because the sun reflects off of the salt. It's very bright, so they're like crystals. You know, and some people, and also any wound that you get from working in the salt mine, the salt is destroying that. You're feeling all of that. You know what I'm saying? So the salt mine wasn't no soft way to go either, man. You know? Go ahead.
Finishing off, it says, and he said unto them, Ye shall drink indeed of my cup, and be baptized with the baptism that I am baptized with. But to sit on my right hand and on my left is not mine to give, but it shall be given to them for whom it is prepared of my Father.
So it's all prepared to the Father anyway. It's all prepared to the
Exactly.
Father.
Exactly.
You know, the reason why the apostles came to the truth, the time they came to the truth, it was all prepared with the Father.
Yeah.
You know? So everything is done perfectly, man. You know? Right? That's on that?
Go on.
I got this here. This is Matthew 13 and 5. NLT says, other seeds fell on shallow soil, and with underling rock. The seed sprouted quickly because the soil was shallow, but the plants soon withered under the hot sun. Right? The scripture talk about this is a race. It's about a race of endurance, not speed.
Yeah.
Right? You have those, you just shoot up quickly. But when the heat comes, they wither. Right? And then it goes into why, right? So it says.
And it's like it.
Yeah.
And you've seen it. You've seen guys coming in the truth. 15 videos a day. Lazy.
Yeah.
Right? And some of them are. I know.
Oh,
Right now,
yeah.
someone popping up on my mind. They're nowhere to be found right now.
Yeah.
Right? As soon as that heat, that trial catches them.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about last week. Part of the what? It's easy to do the work when everything around you in life is
It's
good.
working, yeah.
Working, you know,
Yeah.
you're getting paid on time.
Yeah.
Bonus not being impeded.
Yeah.
You know, you might have got a bonus.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
got some time and a half.
Yeah.
It's easy to pump out the videos.
Yeah.
So let the Lord start taking away some of that stuff.
Let's
Are
see.
you still going to do the work?
Exactly.
Let your woman up and leave you. You still going to do the work?
Exactly.
Your card rate down. You still going to do the work?
That's right. That's right.
Right? You lose your job. You still going to do the work?
Yeah.
Right? You got to lean on somebody. Don't catch it right now. You know? But you got to fight through it.
You have
Are you
to
still going to
fight.
fight through it?
That's right.
Or are you going to fizzle?
That's right.
Like you said, shallow soil.
That's right.
Right?
Yep.
Well, that builds your relationship with your house shot. You going through that and still pushing and still doing the right thing,
Yep.
man.
Right.
That builds a solid bond, man. Imagine you have a woman like that. You all kind of things and ups and downs. You were homeless. She was right. She was fine too. You understand what I'm saying? You ain't gonna treat her like the rest of the women. Well, I know I would. I'm not treating her like the rest of the women I come in contact with. Okay? Because she proved herself to be worthy of a high position amongst you, man. Same thing with us towards your house.
That's right.
Okay?
Yeah, I got more. So it says, verse 6, but the plants soon withered under the hot sun. And since they didn't have deep roots, right?
Getting the deep roots is understanding what you're really involved in, understanding the basics of this truth, the real basics, what this is really about. If you don't really understand what this is really about, you ain't getting no roots in this thing.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
And then sometimes the roots have to come through the trials.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? Sometimes the trials is what brings the roots, how you deal with trials.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
see what I'm saying? And they're not, sometimes that does bring
It does,
more
yeah.
roots and dig deeper into the ground.
That's right.
You know?
100%. That's what that baptism brings.
Yep.
Well,
It says, and since they didn't have deep roots, they died. Other seeds fell among
But
thorns.
you know, it's funny. I don't remember where I heard it somewhere. But the roots, the plants grow two ways. The trees go up and they go down. And the upward is like an easy growth, like you can see, you know, you can see the beauty and all that. But downward for the roots to go deep, it's hard for them to dig through all that dirt. It's like a hard process for it to grow. See, but that's what's keeping the plant firm into the ground.
That's right.
Things that, and that's something that people can't see. You understand what I'm saying? That part.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Other seeds fell on thorns that grew up and choked out the tender plants.
Oh, tender. You're weak. You know what I'm saying? And you ain't able to deal with the heat.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Some brothers is, you know, obviously not about being, you know, it's good to be in shape and all that, but some brothers is super big, you know, muscle out in shape in front. But inside is weak. The inside gotta be strong. It spoke about Paul, him being bodily excellent. His body was weak. His body was weak. His speech was contemptible.
Yeah.
He didn't speak like an eloquent orator or none of that.
Yeah.
But His words, his letters were weighty, deep in the spirit. You know what I'm saying? You know, it would be both. That's the best of both worlds. You understand what I'm saying? You be both. That's both. But I'm saying if you're like that and then inside your weakness, what's the point?
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, other seeds fell on thorns that grew up and choked out the tender plants. Still, other seeds fell on fertile soil, and they produced a crop that was 30, 60, and even 100 times as much as had been planted. Right? Exercising your talents, exercising the fruit of the Spirit, and growing. Anyone with ears to hear should listen and understand. I'm going to skip down. Disciples asked him. Right? Okay, I'll just continue. It says, his disciples asked him the disciples came and asked him, why do you use parables when you were talking to the people? Okay, let me skip down. Okay, you know what? That's the point. Yeah, that's the point. Go ahead.
2 Corinthians 10 and 8, where in AMP it says, for even though I boast rather freely about the authority the Lord gave us for building you up and not for destroying you, I will not be ashamed of the truth, nor do I want to seem to be trying to frighten you.
Another thing, when you're over a brother, you don't think not to just to do this, do that. The thing is also you got to build up. There's a responsibility behind being over a brother. Right? You know what I'm saying? It comes with a responsibility. It doesn't come with just telling them. You got to try to be that. Okay, you're in a position, then show that.
Exactly.
Prove that.
Exactly.
Why are you doing it?
Exactly.
Go ahead.
So like I said, I add on, so that brother could learn from you, for him to be a better leader, you know, eventually, whatever the case may be, the time to come, the Lord wants to raise up that brother. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to be the example, you know, and you want to lead by example, right?
Yeah, yeah. Your words won't have weight.
Right.
You know, they won't have weight. But yeah.
Think about this when more brothers come into this thing, because trust me, listen, let me say this, when more brothers come into this thing, you now become a higher position all of a sudden. Now you gotta have that example of being a leader to teach that younger brother. Right? But if you can't even follow, let me give you an example. If you can't even follow direction or you get bucked up every time someone rebukes you, that's the example that everyone else is gonna see.
Exactly.
So who's gonna want to listen to you?
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? It shouldn't even be breaking teeth and telling brothers something. You know what I'm saying? It should be a flow. It really should be like a flow amongst brothers.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Noah.
It said, nor do I want to seem to be trying to frighten you with my letters, for they say his letters are weighty and forceful and impressive, but his personal presence is unimpressive, and his speech contemptible of no account. Now, in the precept in the AMP, it says about his personal appearance. It says, among the Greeks, a speaker's presence and delivery were as important as his message, as the orator Demosthenes made clear when he said that the three most important elements of a speech are delivery, delivery, delivery. However, Paul did not follow these rules because the message of salvation does not need to be presented with fanfare in order to reach the hearts of the audience.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, fanfare. Well, what is that like? What is that like today? We got matching cameras. Our cameras are 8K. What is it? 8K?
Yeah, 4K.
4K.
We got 4K cameras. You know, our beards are lined up.
Yeah.
Right? We got women followers and lawn chairs.
We got a community.
Right? Community.
Yeah, fanfare just means a large amount of media attention or excitement. A showy, loud display to promote a product or event.
Or marching.
Marching, yeah.
Doing it for the gram.
There's actually, yeah.
All of us got one time and the bug guy, they call it?
Bubble
Yeah,
light.
Oh, bubble eye. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On the comment, we're talking about only four people watching, you know?
Yeah.
Because with them, it's about how many people are watching. Like
Yeah.
numbers is for them, it's numbers, you know what I'm saying? So we don't care about the 4 people watching. What we care about is the message going out. Eventually, that message, it will reach needs to
reach.
reach.
That's right, that's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because if you're doing your lessons on a fanfare scale, like he's
Or a
trying
mindset.
a mindset, then it's not necessary, right? Because the message that we're bringing out, eventually it will get to those people in those crevices and corners that it needs to get to.
Yeah, and
You
then
know what I'm saying?
yeah, and then as well as you're only fooling yourself because there's that aspect, yes, views, followers, people coming in, but then you still need to be saved. Paul talked about, lest, I be cast away. Look how many men the Lord, the fruits of his labor, and he mentioned, lest I be cast away. So you still have to think about your salvation at the end of the day. That's the main thing. I want to be saved. And like you said, when the message goes out, it'll reach who he needs to reach. That's the Lord's job, really. As terms, who's going to listen, that's the Lord's job. We just got to speak it.
You don't need these special effects.
Yeah.
You don't need that.
There was a little bit more, actually, Slake.
It's like the special effect is the Rakakura.
That's it. Special effects is the
Khan.
Which one would be elect to receive?
Yeah. So back in Matthew 13, there was 2 more verses. It says, verse 11 in NLT, he replied, you are permitted to understand the secrets of the kingdom of heaven, but others aren't. Verse 12.
Right, this is not for everybody, man. Scripture say, wide is the gate, broad is the way that leadeth unto destruction. Paraphrase, right? The initiator of the elect. Only the elect are going to get it. That's why when you have a knucklehead Jake come up and he's got that right steer, the glazed look, like, move on, man, because it's not for you, right?
Khan. It says, verse 12, in the NLT, to those who listen to my teachings, more understanding will be given. And they will have abundance of knowledge, right? And there's hearing somebody and there's listening, right? Hearing one in, one out, listening, there's action applied, So it says, to those who listen to my teachings, more understanding will be given. And they will have abundance of knowledge. But for those who are not listening,
Tapped out.
right?
And you won't even know that. You won't even know when a person is really listening to Yahweh. That's done in the dark. That's not necessarily done in the open. Certain times it is done in, certain brothers may be around you, certain things, but the real things, most of it is done like in secret. And then the reward is open. You see that?
It says, but for those who are not listening, even what little understanding they have will be taken away from them. This is why I use these parables, for they look, but they don't really see. They hear, but they don't really listen or understand. That's it.
Well, I mean, if you come in a humble state, most likely the Lord will open your understanding. But you gotta come as a child.
Yeah.
You gotta come in a humble state. If you come in a hard-headed state, you're not going to do that. But if you come in a humble state, Lord said, show me. Because that's fertile ground, right? Fertile ground, when you go to do gardening, you gotta break up the ground,
Yeah.
A ground, you gotta break up the ground.
Right.
Before you put any seed in your put it in the hard ground, it's not going to work. It's going to be unrooted.
That's right.
You see? So you got to make sure your mind is ready to receive that and not have that worldly mentality. I don't want nobody to tell me, you told me don't do that. That's all right.
Like you said, it's one about the word you use, acceptance.
Yes.
Like you said, acceptance in itself is a major understanding. It's always gonna feel like you're going against the grain, but you're really, that's the flesh. You need to accept whatever it may be, because the scriptures say that there's a shame unto glory and grace, and there's a shame unto sin. So shame is necessary, but also it identifies. So you have a choice. Are you gonna continue on? You're gonna buck up, or slight it and let it grow behind your back until it overtakes you, or you're gonna deal with it head on and receive the grace from the Lord. You know.
Yeah, but your word humility goes into humiliation, right? So we're dealing with that shame, humiliation. That's what makes you able to receive the humility of it all, because it does take away from part of us. Look, we all men. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, man, this man, this, you know, in our universe, we're all the man. You know what I'm saying? Outside of, you know, Yahweh Shai, of course, but I'm saying within our universe, so to speak. You understand what I'm trying to say? So men have that mindset and that ego, right? But that ego really just holds us back. You see what I'm saying? So once we put that ego aside to understand that, especially with someone that's not doing you harm, but really has your best interests at heart, but sometimes it can come off better. It can come off like, oh, it's gonna be rough. Oh, they did that and this and that, set it up for the people, whatever. There's a reproof that beautiful. There's a reproof that is not comely, like the elder said. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes it may come in a different way, but it's the intention behind it. Yeah. And what can you get from that? You know what I'm saying? You see, when I hear something from an elder brother or whatever, you know, my mind is to do it now. I'm going to say that, oh Lord, I appreciate you saying that. Let me try that now, not tomorrow, now. Because I understand that what's that going to do is going to add into my arsenal. That's right. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter how it came necessarily. Right. I want to add onto it. You know what I'm saying? That's right. What is this?
Let me add on to that, because there's something, there's a part in the Rocky, I think it's the second one. Apollo Creed was trained in Rocky, and he's like, oh, I don't want to do this. I want to do this. Oh, let me do this part. He's like, there is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. He just, you could have shut on it.
Gave it to him, yeah?
Yeah.
Right in the training.
If I can add something,
You know?
if I can add on,
No, continue.
you're gonna say something?
No, sorry.
To add on to, you know, what brothers are saying, you know, who does man perceive the evil? So if an elder's giving you advice, telling you to do something, it's because he sees things, maybe he didn't.
Or even Slack it, or even a brother.
A brother,
Yeah, you got it.
A
Yeah.
brother as well. You know what I mean? A
Yeah.
brother, you know, who does man perceive the evil, right? So take that advice and you add it to them. I'm saying, add it to your arsenal, man. You know, don't even ask questions. You can, but you know.
To gain understanding,
You can ask questions to gain understanding, but you know, if you're really sincere, you're still do it. You don't trust in the spirit.
And there may be certain times you say, okay, that, but then you'll see. You'll see. Well, you know, if the spirit. But the thing is, if you're always bucking up at everything and there's nothing that, for the most part, you don't really take heed.
Right.
You know, that's another thing. You know, then sometimes, you know, not taking heed to certain things. You know, or being slow. Okay. But you know, it's a pattern. It's a pattern of activity that leads to something.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Two scripts.
Okay.
Yep.
Go ahead.
So 1 Peter 2 in the AMP, quick one. Like newborn babies, you should long for the pure milk of the word, so that by it you may be nurtured and grow in respect to salvation, its ultimate fulfillment.
That's right.
Yeah.
You should be as newborn babies.
Yes.
Right. Sear milk.
Brother's gonna bring it out, but
Yeah.
to back up what I'm saying.
Come on.
This is John 3:1. There was a man of the Pharisees named Nicodemus, a ruler of the Jews. The same came to Yahushua by night and said unto him, Rabbi, we know that thou art a teacher, come from the Most High. For now man can do these miracles that thou doest, except Yahweh be with him. Yahushua answered and said unto him, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born again, he cannot see the kingdom of Yahweh.
Right, and then the point being they can be born again. You know, but it was in the mind, not actually physically.
Yes.
The spiritual. Okay. You understand? But it went above his head. He's gonna go.
And Slaka, you know, forgot what you mentioned earlier, but it brought this thought to my mind. Born again, and the scriptures also say that we die daily.
Right.
So, you know, born again, yeah, you come in the truth, you're born again, but we die daily. So you're also born again daily too. In terms of the sincere milk. Like you're never, I don't believe you're ever, you know. Say it again? No, I was gonna say, I don't think you're ever like too experienced to learn that sincere milk. because it's different than it was. It's different than what it was. Maybe your 5th year or whatever year, right? Everything intensifies every time you go longer with the Lord. So just like we die daily, we're born daily too.
Yeah, hopefully with age you're more readily able to accept, but
It should be
ultimately
like
comes
that.
down to the spirit. If the spirit's dealing with it, then people don't receive it.
Yep.
And it's like, just like yesterday, we were talking about, you just mentioned about humility. Before honor comes humility. That's where you get the word humiliation. And in the world, these people are going through humiliation ritually. You know?
Yeah.
Low level, high level.
Level.
You know what I'm saying? You guys are worshiping birthdays, Christmas, that's your humiliation. You're going to be looking at, if you're an Israelite and you came into me like, fuck, I was doing that, then it's going to be shit.
Yeah.
But if you want to get on a level, now you're going to really have to be humiliated. Yes, you know what these people do. So brothers thinking, like you're saying, you're a man, yeah, you should feel shame as a man, right? But you still gotta have that mentality. I was sure with you. He's the top man. He's the first Adam, brother. He's the last.
But even the elite, they understand how important humility and humiliation is, because they're going through humiliation rituals daily, and it's for the comfort and the to be consumed by the 2/3. But
God.
at the same token, they understand how important it is to be humble.
That bitch, Maria Abramovich.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a ritual she did. I don't know if you guys seen it, where it was under art, like art.
Yeah.
It's clearly obviously witchcraft. So
Right.
ceremony where she stands naked for like I think 12 hours or some shit.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody and everybody can do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah.
She can't do anything. She's
Yeah.
crying. She's what?
Yeah.
That's like a rebirth, like a humiliation. Like strip you down and build you up.
Yeah.
You know, that's their humiliation.
Yeah.
Skull and bones. Where they got to be.
Lay in the casket.
Mud naked, pissed on, shit on.
Yeah.
Lay naked in the crypt and tell their secrets.
So tell the secrets, yeah.
The knowledge of wickedness is not
The
wisdom.
Lord's humiliation ain't nothing compared to that.
That's right.
You know? The Lord's humiliation builds you up.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's
That
right.
shit don't build you up.
Yeah, they don't build you up.
John 3 and 4. Nicodemus said unto him, How can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter the second time into his mother's womb and be born? Yahushua answered, Verily, verily, I say unto thee, except a man be born of the water and of the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of Yahweh. That which is born of the flesh is flesh, and which is born of the Spirit is spirit.
He was coming from a carnal mindset. That's why he's asking these questions. You know, y'all try to bring up the parables, and he wasn't able to just go over his head. You know? Go ahead.
Verse 7. Marvel not that I said unto thee, Ye must be born again. The wind bloweth where it listeth, and thou hearest the sound thereof, but cannot tell whence it cometh and where it goeth.
That's the spirit as well. You know, you don't know where the spirit's coming from. You know, the spirit don't know brother bring up this precept, and, you know.
Yeah.
You know, but like the wind, you don't know where the direction of the wind. You just feel it. It's something you feel.
Con, inspiration.
You know.
Yeah.
So is everyone that is born of the Spirit. Nicodemus answered and said unto him, How can these things be? Yahushua answered and
And he
said,
was sincere too. That's the thing. He was actually sincerely inquiring of this. So, you know, he did in the spirit come as a newborn baby. He was like, you know, how can these things be?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because he actually earnestly wanted to know. You know, Yahushua was giving him knowledge, going, you know, past his mindset though. You know what I mean?
God.
But he still came in that humble spirit.
Yeah.
You know, go ahead.
Yahushua answered and said unto him, Art thou a master of Israel, and knowest not these things? Verily, verily, I say unto thee, we speak that we do know, and testify that we have seen, and ye receive not our witness. If I told you earthly things, and ye believe not, how shall ye believe if I tell you of heavenly things?
That's the point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, we really gotta, you know, the renewing of our minds. You want to be as newborn babes. As a baby, guess what? You're surrounded by water in your mother's womb. You know what I mean? When you come out of your mother's womb, you're actually able to swim. You put that, you know, as soon as that baby comes out, you can put them in water and you'll swim. You know what I'm saying? But that
Water and blood, yeah.
Yeah, water, yeah. Yeah, water.
Water is the cleansing stream.
Right. Not just water, but yeah. Fine. You know?
But that water represents the spiritual baptism. You know, you don't have to carnally be dipped in water to be
baptized.
You know what I mean? It's a spiritual thing. You know, water is a cleansing agent. But that, you know, go ahead.
No, that's a good point. No, I was just saying that's a good point. You got it.
That's why whatever rank you were in the world can't follow you into this truth.
No, it can't.
Right? Could have been a top CEO. You know what I mean? That's not following you in this truth. Right? You could have been a leader of 50 in the world. Right? That's not following you in this truth. You come this truth. A man 2 decades younger than you was over you. Right? That's also humility. How are you going to deal with that?
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
That's a hard thing. That's why Paul said not many.
Yeah.
Not many mighty wise, right? So that's a hard carnal thing to the world. That's a miracle, really, to be honest. You're 50 years old, you know, you come to the street, come.
Yeah.
You know,
It's
you
true.
people just gonna tell you that's
It's true. That's
in the world, you don't hear about that.
yeah. Facts.
Yeah, and if you do have rank in the world, most likely you're gonna lose it coming into this truth. You're not gonna be on the same rank as you were in this truth. That's something?
Yeah. 1 Corinthians 3:18, it says, "Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool that he may be wise."
Yeah. So it's a glory when the world sees us as fools for serving Yahweh Shemel Shai. You know, that's a glory because that's exactly what the scriptures say. If you think to be wise in this world, Baba Kashal, you read that again?
1 Corinthians 3 and verse 18, "Let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world,
Right.
let him become a fool that he may be wise."
Exactly. Right? A fool for Yahweh Shemel Shai's sake. The world sees what we're doing, you know, the garments, the beards, the attire, the personality, and the saying, and it's like Israel saying the same thing they said to the manna. What is this? What are you guys doing? What is this? You know? You get a job, no one's following you, all this murmuring and backbiting and all that stuff. And you know, that's gonna intensify as we get coming to the persecution stage. You know, the intensity of the demonization, because it's gonna be global. We're gonna be set on stage as the reason why everything bad is happening. Yeah. However, this devil does it, right? And a lot of men, the scriptures tell you that a lot of men are going to betray the truth because they can't deal with being hated by the world ultimately.
Oh yeah, the world's gonna hate you.
Yeah.
So if you're all about the spotlight, you're gonna get some spotlight. You're not gonna like it.
Exactly.
The time to come.
Yeah, exactly.
The spotlight ain't gonna be nice. It's gonna be tied to a PDF file. They bring up all kind of lies. I didn't do that. They're gonna be big. Hey, it's gonna stick. You know what I'm saying? Because that's part of what the humiliation is when you're going into. Right?
Yes.
So you gotta go through that part. Man.
That's right.
You know.
But that's why the Spirit, he always has put in the Spirit on us to hate this world already, as it is now. So that when the world comes up against us and demonize us for whatever they're going to do, it's not going to affect the elect because we're going to already give that mindset that we don't care about this world.
Exactly.
And Yahweh Hashem Shai is putting us through trials every day to intensify that hate for people.
Exactly.
Whether it's your family, your job, whatever kind of status you may have held in this world, Yahushua is cleansing us from that and just making us fixated on Him and the kingdom and what's to come.
That's right.
I think it's gonna affect us on a carnal level, and the reason why is because they're gonna use AI to generate images of brothers teaching things that don't, Yeah. So they're gonna demonize us. A lot of us are gonna be charged, and these things are gonna be plastered on social media and the news. So even when you're found not guilty or they let you go, you're still out there. You're still demonized. So these things are going to happen where they're going to demonize the men of the Lord on the highways and the byways daily.
Yeah.
Just because they want to paint a bad picture.
Yeah.
Because these are people, the same people who control the narrative.
Yeah.
They control the news. They control social media. All these platforms is controlled by them.
Yeah.
So they're going to use this to demonize us. So it is going to affect us. But on a mental level, it's not going to really affect us.
Yeah,
We're
spiritual.
Spirit. Can I
Yeah.
get this? You can get what I'm saying?
Constant.
Spiritual level, yeah.
Spiritual
Yeah, spiritual level.
Revelation 2:10. Fear
Yeah.
none of Salakia, fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison,
Yeah.
and ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life.
And that's why that, as we always bring out, your relationship with Yahweh Shai is paramount. Especially when that demonization comes, it's you versus the world. The whole world. And like you said, it's going to affect in the flesh. So if your relationship with Yahweh Shai isn't rooted, that's going to, like, just like the parable, you know, what's called the thorns came and choked it out. Yeah. Demonization and persecution, that's a part of the thorns. Choking out a lot of men that just didn't really tend to the sincere milk, fruit of the spirit, you know, with Yahweh Shai. Like we talk about, you know, Revelation 17 breakdown or Sirach chapter 2 in Jacob's trouble. Right? When you think about it practically. You know, understanding the breakdowns are amazing, and that's favored towards or from the Lord on you. But like the Spirit's been bringing out, the sincere milk, treating one another kindly, right, and then working on the fruits of the Spirit. It's really what's going to take the elect through. Because knowledge and wisdom comes from the Lord anyways. You know?
You read the scripture there, right? Revelation 2:10, right?
Yeah.
So things are going to happen. Some men are going to get thrown in a bullpen, fingerprinted, facing on CP24, right? They get bailed, they get released. Women don't want to be with you no more. You got to choose them. I'm leaving. She leaves. She take the kids. You might have had an all right job like Esau's paid. Now you're fired, right? Now your woman left. Your landlord said you got to go.
Yep.
Come to charge for that.
Yeah,
you go.
get out of my house.
Right? Now you have an eviction notice. You got to leave. Right? What are you going to do then? So now you're on charges. Your face is all over CP24.
That's right.
Either my boss fired you. Either my landlord said you got to go. You got 14 days notice.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You got to leave.
Yeah.
Or they might be more severe.
Yeah.
Change the locks. We don't want you here.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
a PDF file.
Yeah.
What are you going to do?
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Or a T, right?
Yeah, definitely a T. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's facts.
Yeah, I just want to say, right, that's a powerful precept. You don't understand, right? It's a command, right? Fools for your house shall say. I'm putting that precept after that means for that. That was a command because that's the gospel constitute servitude to your whole Hashem child. So I have 1 Corinthians 4:10. It says, "You are fools for your house shall say." Right, and then so the reward for being that fool, all of those things will happen to us. You're going to catch the fire.
Oh, yeah.
Right? But the reward here, in essence, 1 Corinthians 10 says, "You are fools for your house shall say," right? Which goes back to, hey, you have to have the Father's name, because Yahushua is the first one to get it, right? And then it's extended to the elect. Simply put, right? The say goes into the name, right? Which is the seal. Right? And you're going to get fire. You're going to get fire down here for it. No doubt about it. Right? Right to the end. So it says, we are fools for your help, trying to say. But, we are wise in Yahushua. We are weak. Right? But we are strong. Right? You are honorable, but we are despised. So those are the gifts that we cherish those gifts. That's given. That has to be given. Okay? So yes, that's the reward for being a fool for your house, I say. But in the world, we know what happens in the world. Okay? Being a fool in the world.
Got some? Got some too?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold on. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. This is
You got
2
it.
Peter 3 and 17. You already know these things, NLT. You already know these things, dear friends. So be on guard. Then you will not be carried away by the errors of the wicked people and lose your own secure footing, right? Which is in this truth, being rooted, right? And dealing with the adversities, you already know these things, so you shouldn't be shaken, right? So we know the end of this place, and then we know that hopefully we're delivered. So there's no point in being joined unto the wicked. That's right. Or even envying, oh, yeah, you got some Ferrari, you got this money, you got this. But the man's going to burn up. Yeah. Verse 18. Rather you must grow in the grace and knowledge of our Lord and Savior, Yahushua HaMashiach. All glory to Him, both now and forever. Amen. That's all the truth. We know all these things. So that's what you should focus on. That's have the tunnel vision. Fuck all these people. Coming this way, this, that. We're gonna come with these offenses. Get the fuck out of here. Rebuke them. Rebuke those things. Because those are impure thoughts that will throw you off. Just, just tell them you should get behind it. The Lord did it. So why not you?
So it says this that which is the devil that shall flee away from you.
Yeah. He only comes for a season to bother you, and then he comes back later.
I remember I think it was it's like
No.
I don't know from Mississippi, right? The Kazakh. Doing this video, this thing say like this, like it's like
Slow down.
Slow down. Yeah, you get this say you got you can thoughts, right? The thoughts really that's what you should go off. It's actually mind me like this, like not as you develop his thoughts, you develop a good thing, and then we have a shy. That's what it actually look up into like you're going off the doctrine, or not missing the wickedness.
Yeah.
Right? So like basically it starts in your mind.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, everything is gonna grow. I guess every spirit's gonna grow. It just depends on what direction. Right? It can be bad or good. But like, yeah, I watched that video too. Yeah, so I know exactly what you're saying. If you don't rebuke those thoughts quickly, you never know what it can manifest into and how fast it'll manifest. You know? Yeah. My aunt had one. You can get it.
You mentioned that the disciples, right? They were fools for Yahushua, I say.
Yeah.
Because the disciples, they had their own business. They were fishermen. They were running things. They were doing money. They were doing their thing. But they left what they were doing to follow Yahushua. So they left their income. They left their base, their money. They left everything behind. Right? So people in the world were looking at them as being fools. Right? Because that's pretty much.
They can't see the kingdom.
Yeah, they can't see the kingdom. Right? And that's their livelihood at the moment. Right? Now, when you read Romans 15:4, it says, for whatsoever things were written aforetime, were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. So when we go back to the scriptures and we read about the apostles, the disciples, we know that these things are going to happen now. Where we're going to have to give up a lot of things in the world for Yahweh Shai say. We're going to have to give up. A lot of brothers gave up good jobs for Yahweh Shai say. Right now. A lot of brothers gave up family for Yahweh Shai say. Lost lives for Yahweh Shai say. When I first started following, the ministry, my ex-wife at the time, she called me a demon. She used to demonize me. Say, I hate white people, I don't like them. The reason why we broke up is because you call me a racist. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not a racist. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you are for your own race.
Yeah, So, a lot of people are going to lose family members. They're going to lose friends. You're going to lose a lot coming into this truth. If
your
you're
life,
sincere,
your
if you're
life.
diligent. Yeah, you're going to lose your life, right? But when you read the scriptures, it gives you comfort because you know these things happened before. But who's going to be with Yahushua in the end? Right? The disciples are going to be there. The apostles are going to be there. Right? And Yahushua, we're going to be there. You get what I'm saying? So when you read the scriptures, you should be comforted to know that, these things happened before. So, is it time for it to happen again? Right?
And the scriptures say that everything we lost is times 10. If we're saved, right? We make it 100-fold.
100-fold.
And then on the flip side, those same family members, right? Some of them circle back, right? Send you a text. Well, I know if I invited you, you weren't going to come anyways, right? And you were demonizing me 5, 6, 7 years ago, and now you're your own mind. You're tormented in your own mind. Well, if I, they come with slick talk. Oh, you're so distant now. Been distant, right? So they're tormented in their mind.
Yep.
Those family members.
I want to say one thing before we move on.
Go ahead.
She said to me that her and her mom, she said, the reason why you're following this is because you guys don't know who you are and you want acceptance. And you found it here, so you're going here. That's exactly what they said to me. And now she's calling me, asking me for scriptures.
Call halal Yahweh Shem Al Shai.
She pretty much said you joined the cult.
Pretty much, yes, exactly. You know? So now you're calling me,
Found
asking
an
me for scriptures.
identity.
Now you're saying, yo, the people over there are not the people, the people are this. And now you want to say that this is the truth. You know?
Yo, and slacking. Finish up,
And this
slacking.
is a true story. True story.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
You're not lying. But I wanted to say, because we're talking about everything we're going to lose, but the beautiful thing is, the Lord said, in that same time, He's going to make a man more precious than fine gold, even more than the wedges of Ophir, top grade gold. So it's a bittersweet, more sweet as we get towards the end, because we're getting closer to salvation, Yahweh Shai, and everything else that the Scripture is written, and everything that hasn't been written, where it says, eyes have not seen and hear what is stored up for the elect. So while they hate, those same men are going to be doing things that's going to cause them to be like, what the hell? And then they're going to remember all the prophecies. The Lord's going to bring everything back to their mind. And then, let the Scripture say, then they should know a prophet was among them. These people's idea of a prophet comes from Hollywood. They've never seen a real prophet, even though we're standing right before them. Now when we go to the next level and we get the spiritual powers and whatever the Lord does with us, and everything that we spoke, which is the Lord's words, comes to pass, the breakage in the psyche is going to be, So, it's a beautiful thing to cleave while we're catching hell, because the rewards are coming.
Better is the end of the thing than the beginning, huh?
Exactly. You had some?
Yeah, come.
Okay, I got some after you.
Kind of put it earlier. We're going to basically being born of the Spirit, being born, being born again, being born. Right? In the book of Jeremiah 4, verse 3, it says, "For thus saith the Lord Yahweh to the men of Judah and Jerusalem, break up your fallow ground, and sow not among thorns. Circumcise yourselves to the Lord Yahweh, and take away the foreskins of your heart." Right? Your heart goes to your mind, right? You're thinking. Okay, when you go to Lord Yahweh, I say this except you be water, spirit, and water, shall not enter the kingdom of heaven.
Yeah.
Right? Which is also supposed to be the doctrine, the belief that we have. This is bring all this they learned when you're growing up in the world, right? I'm supposed to bring on the spirit of Yahweh Shai to the prophecy, which is prophetic, talk, right?
Yeah.
Talking about the kingdom that's to come.
Yeah.
Right? Coming destruction, right? Also at the same time too, when you start wisdom, we have to take rebuke. Okay, if you get like rebuke by the brothers, maybe an elder or brother, supposed to take it, not supposed to back up against it. It's supposed to basically supposed to be ready to see correction.
Yes.
Right? It's basically that's part of being born again. That's part of being like break up the fallow ground. These are people they are like hardening.
Yeah.
Right?
Hey, if you're right, you're gonna be justified, right? Let's say if somebody's wrong, eventually you will be justified.
Yeah.
So that takes faith for you to take the load, to take the load, to take that thing, and then to be wrong. That's happened.
That's right.
I see that happen. That's happened to me. Let me examine myself to see if I'm doing such and such. And then a particular individual, honorable individual, told me, no, it's my fault. I was tripping that day.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So, and I said, I thought I was trying to fix that. But guess what? That's the way it was supposed to be.
Exactly.
Because even if not,
you're justified.
If a man is righteous, his conscience, once he finds out that he went wrong, his conscience might affect him, or the Lord will just set it up where you're justified, exalted, or whatever the case may be. You understand what I'm saying? So it's just, that's why you gotta have faith. And that takes faith. That takes a level of understanding that Yahweh Shai is in control of this, and not us. And not him, not anyone, not anyone.
That's right. Paul said,
Stuff on the wrong?
yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's right. Yep.
That's it. That's it.
So it's going to say, circumcise yourselves to the God Yahweh and take away the false kings of your hearts.
That's right.
Right? Ye men of Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem, lest my fury come forth like fire and burn that none can quench it because of the evil of your doings. Right? Just like, like we're saying, this like rather this like I will be to be born again. Sometimes I'll be born again every day. Right? Also that's part of the suffering, the tribulations, okay, suffering of your loved ones, okay, not being received by by your peers. Right? All these things is all part of this thing breaking up before the ground. To be humiliated, so that you actually see that the honor. Right? It says verse 5, declare ye in Judah and publish in Jerusalem, and say, blow ye the trumpet in the land, cry, gather together, and say, assemble yourselves, and let us go into the fenced city. In last verse 6 says, set up the standard towards Zion, retire, stay not, for I will bring evil from the north and a great destruction.
It says blowing the trumpet in Judah and Jerusalem, right? This is Jerusalem is a people of working place. Speaking about the Israelites, wherever the Israelites dwell, right now in North America, this place, the majority, the bulk of the Israelites are on this side. You get what I'm saying? So the trumpet is being blown right now, every weekend. We're on the highways and the byways blowing the trumpet, telling the wicked Israelites to turn back to Yahweh Shemashah. Delivering the message. Right? The trumpet is being blown daily on the internet. Right? And that's what it's speaking about.
Yeah.
You got something?
Yep.
This is Colossians 2 and 6. And now, just as you accept Yahweh Shai as your Lord, you must continue to follow him. Let your roots grow down into him, and let your lives be built on him. Then your faith will grow strong in the truth.
Hold on now. So you let your roots grow down, and your faith also grows. You want to say something, Mark?
I just say something.
Okay, that's the spirit. Go ahead, bro.
Just backing up what you said earlier about the tree. Looks pretty, when it's out, but we don't understand the deep roots that it has within the earth.
Con.
And, as we go through our trials and tribulations and Jacob's trouble and what's to come, if we're not rooted in Yahweh Shai, we're gonna be washed away.
That's right.
The MOTB could take you away.
Yeah.
You seeing your son or your mother go through some shit might take you away. So that's why it's just very important for us to be rooted in Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
Rooted, not no weak shit.
That's right.
Like really, get down to the earth so
that's
that
right.
we can able to endure.
That's right.
What's to come.
And the more that you're going through, right, what it's gonna do is gonna build you up.
Yeah.
Faster. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're gonna shoot you up on a higher level. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So don't look at them trials that brothers be going through. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take that, but you gotta deal with it right according to the scriptures. Make sure you keep that in your mind, and then when you get out of that, you're gonna look back and go, wow.
Yeah.
Now I'm on a higher level.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact, for me, when I was first coming into the show, I was weak. I know I was weak, and really we were all weak, to be honest. But I know for a fact I was weak. Because I remember certain trials that I would go through that were kind of, fuck, yo, what am I gonna do, yo, calling girl, yo, it's like I was just fucked up. But these type of things, now, I laugh, I don't even react.
Yeah.
I won't even have an expression if it happens. That's how much the trials have hardened.
Yeah, exactly.
Hardened me, and how it hardens individuals. And
Exactly.
you see Apostle Harden's hardened like a rock. Apostle Bar, the apostle, they're
Yep.
hardened like steel, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Through their trials and tribulation. But it only had to come through the trials. Some of them ain't going through trials like that. They're not being hardened like that. So they're hard. They're really on a softer level. They thought the gangsters talk about being hard and hard. Them niggas is weak and soft and moist.
Yeah.
We're not sodomites.
They're sodomites. They act like sodomites.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You tell me they're all hyper emotional. That's not being rough.
Yeah, you gotta be calm. You gotta be the other way around.
Yeah, it's like you guys are talking about roots. When you deal with herbs, some of the best herbs to get is wild harvested herbs, meaning it's out in the wilderness rather than conventionally grown. And that's because they tend to go deeper into the soil. but for the reason of the external environment. So it might be really cold, and that plant is either gonna die or it's gonna grow the roots further to get the minerals it needs to grow. Right? There's any kind of root, even frankincense. Boswellia, the tree, there's a picture of a cliff. And the Boswellia tree is growing, but the cliff is falling, but it's pretty much like in between. So you can see like half the roots is inside and half is sticking out. But those kind of plants, they tend to have the most medicine, minerals, nutrients, because they go deep into the soil or else they're gonna die.
So the wild ones.
Wild herbs. That's a good one. Let us go through health. You know, so that's a good thing.
I wanted to bring this up real quick because, let you finish? You have more?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll let you finish.
Colossians 2:7. Let your roots grow down into him and let your lives be built on him. Then your faith will grow strong in truth. In truth, you were taught, and you will overflow with thankfulness. Don't let anyone capture you with empty philosophies and high-sounding nonsense that come from human thinking and from spiritual powers of this world, rather than from...
And the bulk of 2/3 of our Israelites, that's their mindset, right? That eloquent speech. Listen, a lot of you women are going to get sifted because of feminism. A lot of you women are going to get sifted because of seven women shall take hold of one man.
Yep.
That's going to sift you. You can't process that, right? The message is not, it's not sugar-coated. They can't deal with it.
Yeah.
Their feathers are ruffled.
And they won't. Because they know, but they won't deal with it.
Let's talk about the woman that you're dealing with right now. Okay? If she can't handle that, she's gonna be gone.
Right.
Yeah. That's on her. That's her walk, though.
Exactly.
That's her test. But we all gonna, whether you're in the truth or not, whether you're living in the truth or not, we're all gonna be. Everybody's gonna be tested. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody's coming down to the final countdown. You know?
Yep.
Verse 9, for in Mashiach lives all fullness of Yahweh in a human body. So you also are complete through your union with Yahweh Shai, who is the head over every ruler and authority.
Right. I wanted to get this too, because the fire, the trials, we talk about faith, but then there's genuine faith. You have to have that genuine faith. Those trials are there to build up your faith, right, for times to come. So this is 1 Peter 1:7, straight to the point. In the NLT, it says, these trials will show that your faith is genuine. It is being tested as fire tests the tests and purifies gold. Though your faith is far from precious, though your faith is far more precious than mere gold, so when your faith remains strong through many trials, it will bring you much praise and glory and honor.
You hear that? When your faith remains strong through many trials, that's what's going to bring you much glory in all those things. You know? It's not about, you can't, when you go through that, you're not thinking about the glory. You just got to get through it. That's it. You got to get through it, and you got to get through it in the right mindset.
That's right.
And then the Lord is going to deal with it as long as you deal with you and bring you where you need to be, spiritually, if you remain faithful.
Right. It says it will bring you much praise and glory and honor on that day when Yahweh Shai HaMashiach is revealed to the whole world. That's what you want, that honor and glory from Yahweh Shai. Looking at you saying, good servant, my brother, crown on the head, give you a tight hug, and then it is what it is. Now,
but even that's the ultimate glory. You see? But before that, there's also glory of wisdom.
Yeah.
Wisdom is a problem.
Yeah.
You see? So when you go through these things and you're gaining wisdom, you're also becoming more glorified.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The way you speak, the way you operate, it's like, oh shit. Oh, God, you talk to people in the streets. As you grow, it's like, oh, he's different.
Right.
You know?
Right. Yeah.
But
And
they got one that can see.
So this is just an illustration of that. You can read that. I'm going to bring this up real quick in chat, but you can read that.
this is Acts 19 and verse 13. It says, then certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits the name of the Lord Yahushai, saying, we adjure you by Yahushai whom Paul preacheth. And there were 7 sons of Sheva, a Jew, and the chief of the priests, which did so. Verse 15, and the evil spirit answered and said, Yahushai I know, and Paul I know, but whom are ye? And the man in whom the evil spirit was leaped, and the man in whom the evil spirit was leaped on them, and he overcame them and prevailed against them, so that they fled out of that house naked and wounded. And this was known to all the Jews and the Greeks also dwelling at Ephesus. And fear fell on them all.
Right.
And the name of the Lord, Yahushai, was magnified.
Right. And so I'm going to read this in chat, and this just goes into that genuine faith. So those guys thought they could just come up, call upon the name, and do whatever, and one demon beat 7 men out of the house, right? So it says here, Acts 19 and 13 to 17 is one of the clearest passages showing that the power is not in merely saying the Lord's name, it is having a genuine relationship with Him. That's when he said, Paul, Yahushai I know, he has a genuine relationship with the Lord. Paul I know, because he has a genuine relationship with the Lord, but I don't know you, right? It is having a genuine relationship with Him, which just boils down to being honest. You know, being genuine is just being honest, right? Being real. It is having a genuine relationship with Him and acting under His authority. The events are connected in this way. Now I'm going to skip down to verse 15. It says, the demon replied, Yahushai I know, Paul I know, but who are ye? This is remarkable. The evil spirits acknowledge Yahushai's supreme authority. It also recognizes Paul because Paul was a true servant acting under Yahushai's authority. But the 7 sons had no such authority. The point isn't that demons knew Paul's reputation for his own sake. Rather, they recognized that Paul belonged to Yahushai and was empowered by him. Right? Yeah, so yeah, that's basically it. Oh, wait. Slaki. It says here, I know there's a little more. Likewise, Yahushua gives authority. Think of it like a police officer. A badge carries authority because the officer has been commissioned. Someone wearing a fake badge has no real authority. Likewise, Yahushua gives authority to those who are His servants and who act according to His will.
Well, He gave Peter the keys. Yeah. Peter the keys to heaven and earth. That's right. So He gives everyone He gives His servants the authority.
Yeah. It says His servants who act according to His will, which is also the Father's will, not to those treating His name as a magical formula. That's what they thought it was. Yeah. He had the one guy who thought he could buy it too. That Peter had to curse up.
Renaissance non-teaching Christianity is a perfect example of that.
Yeah. It says the attack exposed their lack of genuine spiritual authority before everyone watching. This is why I put the fear on those other believers, and then at the end they took all their witchcraft books and burned it because they were not being fully genuine. So when they saw it, they're like, oh shit, I can't play around. Put all this away and come straight and full to Yahweh, or I'm going to be dealt with like that. Right? And so it says,
and this and that was majority of us that came to this truth. That was majority of us in our walk.
Right.
We were in this truth. We were in the world being demons. Right? Some of us had crucifixes around our neck. And some of us had dreadlocks, believed in Shiva jacks. We heard this word, fear ran through us. And we put away those idols.
Yeah, that's right.
You said crucifix. I had that shit with Caesar. And I heard Apostle DeHart say, you gotta burn that. I went to the bathroom, but I took it later. I gotta burn that shit. Threw it away.
Yeah. Last bit, it says,
Hey, I have a story about that, actually. There was one time, I tell the story sometimes, the one friend that I had, he had a chain, you know what I'm saying? And I was coming into the truth, he had like jewelry, brother. I was like, oh, shit, he told me, I like jewelry, He's like, yo, take it on, put it on. I said, yo, because back in the, we always wanted chains and this and that, right? So I'm like, yo, you know what? I put it on, but it was the Last Supper. So I said, false image. I put it on backwards. I put it on backwards so they see the square. Brother, as I'm putting it on, no joke. I swear, as I put it on, I'm shaking. As I touch it, my whole body is trembling, but it's uncontrollable trembling. What the fuck is going on? And it's not my mind because I already convinced myself I'm gonna put it backwards. You know what I'm saying? So it don't mean nothing because it's facing backwards. The Lord showed me, I'll kill you. Right?
Play with me, right?
Yeah. I said, oh, shut up. Do that dance. I can't. And he's looking at me like I'm crazy. He said, what do you mean you can't? I said, yo, as soon as I'm touching that, I can't even explain it to him, bro. In my mind, I just kept to myself. I'm like, as soon as I touch that, my body starts trembling, bro. I said, nah, I can't put this on yet. But it was all spiritual.
1,000%.
Because in my mind, I was already convinced I'm good and I'm not really worshiping it. But as I touch it, my body going like this. Show me, that's a wicked, evil idol, man.
Yeah. Just finishing up. That's the exact same experience as these guys had with the books. When they saw that, they were probably like, oh shit. I gotta put this away, whatever. What if this happens to me? You never know what they're going through as well. But it says here, fear fell on them all, and the name of the Lord Yahushua was magnified. This happened because everyone realized two truths. Yahushua's authority over demons was absolutely real. Number two, his name could not be manipulated or used like a charm.
His reputation.
Right. Yep. Yeah, exactly.
And you can't mix it with other names.
Yeah.
You can't be calling on Yahushua one day and Jesus the next day, like IUIC. You can't do that. Or Christ.
Yeah.
You gotta be fully persuaded that this is the correct name. You gotta stick with that. That's pure. That name can't be mixed with another name. Scripture says his name is one. So if he's mad at the idols and this and that, how much more is he going? How is he going to be mad about mixing his name?
Yeah, that's right.
They had their website. They had his name. Some people call him Yeshua. Some people call him this and that.
Yeah, I remember that.
They mix it how shine this and that. That's why, when that judgment comes, man, you should know that.
Yeah, go ahead. What's this?
It's like, as if I may say, like, actually, your story reminds me of, like, in the scriptures, like, remember when they came out of Egypt, like, I think with Joshua, like, the armies of Israel, going against our enemies, and then, like, getting defeated, right? Because, like, just like,
Someone had the thing hiding.
I have the account.
Wow, that's a spirit. That's crazy.
Joshua 7:10. And the Lord Yahweh said unto Joshua, get thee up, wherefore liest thou thus upon thy face? Israel hath sinned, and they have also transgressed my covenant, which I commanded them, for they have taken of the accursed thing, and have also stolen and dissembled also, and they have put it even among their own stuff. And therefore the children of Israel could not stand before their enemies, but turned their back before their enemies, because they were accursed.
See?
Neither
Salaki, that's like that demon. Now, I don't know you, so you were destroyed by your enemies. If you don't have that genuine faith, you're gonna go into Jacob's trouble. You're gonna be mauled up. Fooling your own self, calling on Yahweh. And Yahushua said it. Though they say, Lord, Lord, I won't hear them. That's serious. You say Yahweh Hashem trying to get you out of a situation, right? So, or the Spirit's not on you to deal with the lot of death, if that's the lot. There's that aspect too. Go ahead.
neither will I be with you anymore, except ye destroy the accursed from among you. Up, sanctify the people, and say, sanctify yourselves, against the morrow, for thus saith the Lord Yahweh, God of Israel, there is an accursed thing in the midst of thee. O Israel, thou canst not stand before thine enemies until you take away the accursed thing from you. In the morning, therefore, you shall be brought according to your
so
tribes.
that chain was a curse. Because they had an angle on it. No matter which way I twist it, if I flip it upside down, it didn't matter, it was a curse. Because it was an idol.
Right.
You see?
Right. And it shall be that the tribe which the Lord Yahweh taketh shall come according to the families thereof. And the family which the Lord Yahweh shall take shall come by households, and the household which the Lord Yahweh shall take shall come man by man. And it shall be that...
And that's another thing too, he will protect his men from doing wrong. You see? That's another thing. So it's like, yo, you know, if a dude is just a demon and he sees himself shaking, he's like, I'm gonna wear it anyway. I mean, lightning strikes him, that's on him. You see? When the elect don't see the sign, oh, that's a clear sign. I mean, clearly he's messing with your nervous system.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Out of nowhere. That's clear. You know y'all about Shema, not even like, really, that's like, okay, I really know he exists.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? We can go pray. You understand what I'm saying? But that's when I was first listening to the truth coming, you know what I mean? So that accursed thing, these things have vibrations, and these words, these names they use it, these names, Jesus, what vibration? That's an evil, wicked, sick vibration.
You mentioned it earlier. You mentioned that I think you said China man was you were saying I love you to woman.
Yep. There's a woman who did that one.
Change vibration.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So the term, you know, called a Jeebus, you know, that term when you use it, it just causes a vibration, right? A vibration of wickedness.
That's right.
You know, that's the reason why these people can go around and all sorts of debauchery things and come back and say, forgive me, you know, say Jesus.
Yeah.
When we call the name of Yahweh Shemashai, we know we're not going to go out there and do evil.
Yeah.
Come up and be like, y'all forgive me. Nah, it don't work like that. But in revere Jesus, that's how it works.
Yeah. They don't learn to offend less.
Pure magic.
Paul, let him
There's even
finish
that
that
account.
question,
There's
son.
even that account. I'm gonna let you continue to say it, but there's even that account with the Danites. Remember the Danites? They had the one dude had the Levite, and then he had the statue. So back then, they were worshiping idols and the Most High at the same time.
Yeah. Yep.
There's even an account with, I think it was Rebecca. She took an idol.
Yeah, she stole it.
She stole an idol.
Yeah.
So they were still
doing that.
Rachel. I'm not too sure if it was Rebecca. It might have been Rachel.
Yeah.
Might have been Rachel. I think it was Jacob's. I think it was Jacob's.
Jacob's wife. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, Jacob's wife. Rachel.
Pretty much.
Pretty So you know, so that right here shows that Jake was mixing. They were partial.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So you can't be partial now in this time at the end of the end.
Yeah.
You gotta be fully focused, locked in on your own body, trying to understand the pure truth.
Yeah. They even had them in the temple, in the courtyard of the temple. Shrines right
yeah.
in front of the temple.
Yeah.
So she stole her father's idols.
It was your father's? Yeah.
That was it?
You have it?
Yeah, the point was made. It was
Cut.
a curse thing, right?
Cut.
You know, brother, you know, for the camera, you can read Joshua 7.
No, finish it, brother. Finish
No,
it.
it's kind of long. I know it's a long account.
It's not.
Yeah.
Get to the point, brother. That's a good thing to read.
Okay, cut. Yeah, all right. So I jumped down to verse 20, Joshua 7:20. Achan answered Joshua and said, indeed, I have sinned against the Lord Yahweh of Israel, and thus have I done. When I saw among the spoils of goodly Babylonish garment 200 shekels of silver, and a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight, then I coveted them, and took them, and behold, they are hid in the earth in the midst of my tent, and the silver under it.
Yeah, so that thing is what cursed Israel. That thing, that him having that one thing buried, curse, that had a vibration, a curse upon him.
Yeah.
A lot of people and families died because he made that decision.
Yes.
A lot of people died.
Disobedience. Right? So if you got somebody people being disobedient amongst you, that sets a vibration. Even in the camp, the whatever, anything. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a vibration.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro. A little more. Yeah, to the point where he
Reveals who it is.
Yeah.
It's tough. Yeah.
Okay, fine.
He put his ass to death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Joshua sent messengers, and they ran unto the tent, and behold, it was hid in his tent, and the silver under it. And they took them out of the midst of the tent, and brought them unto Joshua, and unto the children of Israel, and laid them out before the Lord Yahweh. And Joshua and all Israel with him took Achan, the son of Zerah, and the silver, and the garment, and the wedge of gold.
Even the gold, they didn't keep the silver, they keep nothing. They want not touch nothing with the cursed thing. You know, they want nothing to do with the accursed thing. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And the wedge of gold, and his sons, and his daughters, and his oxen, and his asses,
Everything.
and his sheep,
Ooh, even his sheep.
and his tent.
And they didn't eat the lamb either. They didn't cook and burn the sheep. They take some piece of the lamb. Go ahead.
And all that he had. And they brought them unto the valley of Achor. And Joshua said, Why hast thou troubled us?
Right.
The Lord Yahweh shall trouble thee this day. Jeez. And all Israel stoned him with stones, and burned them with fire, after they had stoned them with stones.
Hey, the scriptures speak about flee from these things. Flee from these things. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, useful lust and all that.
So we ain't supposed to be all into, you know, you see a person all into the world, it's like a pollution, man.
It is.
You know, you coming around brothers and you still deep into the world. Like, eat, like you can see, like, what's up with you? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Go ahead, bro. Also, like the Shapat, you had that 1 year, with the Danex? You find that one?
Let me finish this, and then before somebody else. Just finish this up. It says here, right? Instead, so two things. Yahushua's authority over demons was absolutely real. His name could not be manipulated or used like a charm. Instead of making Yahushua seem powerless because the exorcism failed, the event demonstrated that his authority is so holy and absolute that it cannot be counterfeited. People saw the difference between genuine faith and empty religious performance. You know, so that's the point. You know, you have to come genuine here, be straight with Yahweh Shah. Like we talked about, when a brother rebukes you, an elder rebukes you, you got to see as Yahweh Shah is talking to you. Yeah. If you get carnal, that's disingenuous. That's disingenuous. You gotta, and you might get carnal for a moment, but you better try to get out of that. Okay, everybody has different levels of temperament, right? But the point is to be genuine. That was it on that.
Okay, remember anyone found it? Oh, you got something else? Okay, go ahead.
Oh, Dana?
Oh, you found it? Okay, read that book of the shot.
So it says, look at Judges 18 verse 1. And it reads, in those days there was no king in Israel, and in those days the tribe of the Danites sought them an inheritance to dwell in. For unto that day all their inheritance had not fallen unto them among the tribes of Israel. And the children of Dan sent off their family 5 men from their posts, men of Baalim, from Zorah and from Eshtal, to spy out the land and to search it. And they said unto them, Go, search the land. When they came to the Mount Ephraim, the house of Micah, they lodged there. When they were by the house of Micah, they knew the voice of the young man, the Levite, and they turned in hither, said unto him, Who brought thee hither? And what makest thou in this place? And what hast thou here? And said unto them, Thus did Micah with me, and hath hired me, and am his priest. And they said unto him, As counsel, we pray thee, the Most High, that we may know whether our way which we go shall be prosperous. And the priest said unto them, Go in peace before the Lord Yahweh is your way where you go. Then the 5 men departed and came to Laish, and saw the people that were therein, how they dwelt careless after the manner of the Zidonians, quiet and secure.
Yeah, they're being wicked. They're just being wicked all around. Go ahead.
And there was no magistrate in the land that might put them to shame in anything. And they were far from the Zidonians and had no business with any man. And they came unto their brethren to Zorah and Eshtal, and their brethren said to them, What say ye? They said, Arise, arise, that we may go up against them. For we have seen the land, and behold, it is very good.
Jump to the point where they take the idol.
Yeah.
Okay, so verse 14. Because then answered the 5 men that went to spy out the country of Laish. I said unto the brethren, do ye know that there is in these houses an ephod, and teraphim, and a graven image, and a molten image? Know therefore, now, therefore consider what you have to do. And they turned thitherward and came to the house of the young man, the Levite, even unto the house of Micah, and saluted him.
Yeah, so he had a priest. He hired a priest.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was still trying to worship Yahweh Shem Yahushai, but it said he had a graven image in his house. You see what I'm saying? So that's how corrupt Jake was. That's how corrupt Israel always became. You know, that's why the Most High kept getting mad at Israel over and over and over.
Yeah.
You can't be mixing with the pureness of Yahweh Shem Yahushai with anything that's impure, corrupt, and foul. You know? So that's it on that. We can finish a little bit on that.
Okay, boy?
Is there more?
Yeah, there's more like 2 verses.
Okay, boy.
So verse 16 says, and the 600 men appointed with their weapons of war, which were of the children of Dan, stood by the entry of the gate. And the 5 men that went to spy out the land went up and came in thither and took the graven image,
Right.
and the ephod and the teraphim and the molten image, and the priest stood in the entry of the gate with the 600 men that were appointed with the weapons of war. And these went into Micah's house and fetched the carved image, and ephod and the teraphim and the molten image. Then
So the Danites stole the image, all right, along with the priest.
Yeah.
All right. So that's pretty much the point. That's pretty much the point on that. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, I told you. I told them.
Okay, Khan.
Matthew 7.
That's the spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring it up, bring it up.
Matthew 7:21. Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in the day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out devils?
That starts with in the truth. In the camp, GMS, whatever. Right? You're going out there and prophesying his name, cursing out demons and stuff, but you're not really being genuine in your relationship with the Lord.
And in thy name done many wonderful works. And then will I profess unto them, I never knew you, depart from me, ye that work iniquity.
Yeah, but that's just obviously scare all of us straight, right? Because it says that we did many works. So that's another thing. Just because you're doing things, you still got to stay humble and make sure you're coming straight. You know? So that was it, right?
Yeah.
All right, so with that, we're going to close up. We're going to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh.
Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh.
Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and have taught this word in truth and sincerity. Peace and mercy to the elect, starting with the 144,000, and the rest of you, peace and mercy to you and your household. Abba, Abba, Mashallah, and Shalom to the elect.